from Tupac Koya of the Nexel faction. Or empire, I guess. It's not really much of an empire now, but they're working on that. The rest of the party at this point, for those who are curious, would be still prepping back in the Gelatini manner. But in this particular instance, Rolim is in Maztica, frozen in time in a way, beneath the kind of fractal temple that essentially they have there. He passed very well his first few tests. There's a couple of stumbles here and there, but recovered well. The stakes obviously will get a bit higher as he goes further down into the depths of his knowledge. I think that more or less covers all of it, unless there's anything you want to add. Oh man, otherwise...
Yeah, then just jumped right into it. Hit the little admin stuff. Flandy is hosting tonight, so any issues are on Flandy. I think you have it relatively good. Hopefully my sound's coming through nice and good. There was a little bit of miscommunique there, but I think it's working now. So, yeah. That aside, hopefully Rob doesn't die tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the game plan.
I'm getting a thumbs up from the Foos Gallery.
Everything sounds good? All right. Foos approves. We are now free to mess up her whole channel. Here we go. Last we left, you had just finished the learning how to infuse and kind of manipulate blood itself from living people, and dead. You got to practice on both. But you were able to essentially stop and heal people using your blood or somebody else's blood, including their own. And you had asked questions about the people and or corpses that were in this kind of fountain of blood that you were pulling them from. You were given an image of the man who was shackled and obviously fighting against his current restraints, but couldn't break them, and were shown that he had done some pretty horrific crimes to land him here. And given who the Nexels were, you really gotta set that bar high to get this level of punishment. So he definitely lived up to that particular thing. However, you passed this particular stage, and Koya had basically parted the middle of the fountain area, which revealed a staircase, which is you are now descending down onto, where you hear more rushing of liquid. It's still kind of dark, but there is this kind of unnatural red glow that is now pervading the space. And as you descend further, Koya kind of over the shoulder, with him leading, looks back to you. Before we go any further, I want you to know, at this stage, you can back out. It will cost you, perhaps permanently, but I know the stake of your mission. And normally I would not give this warning to my students, but since your group's potential failure could affect my own people, I'd be remiss in not giving you this one last warning. Anything further than this particular point, there's only one way out alive.
Well, I'm gonna kind of shyly so no reason. What's your general success rate?
We only take the most studious and proficient students, and even those are trained by some of our supplicants to prepare for this. People such as yourself, with absolutely no knowledge of our ways, our people, or our culture, don't do well. However, you are unique in your approach to magic, and I wouldn't have offered this to you if I didn't think you could make it. To answer your question, though, even with that training, supplicants is typically between 30 and 40% pass rate.
Those are not great odds, but still better than a Stimulich coming back to life, or whatever the hell he is.
Yes. Again, there are those who...
That's what it was. It was Dracolich.
There are those who do stop and don't become full blood magi, and that is fine. They can serve the Empire nobly, should they choose, but to successfully pass the trials, you must go through all the layers.
How you feeling, Andy?
I'm be honest with you, I don't like any of this. It's academically fascinating. Practically speaking, terrifying. Who thinks of this stuff? How do you come up with this? Are you just alone in some room bleeding and figure out where does this come from?
Well,
fireball makes sense, right? You have a need to incinerate somebody or something, right? Divination makes sense. Maybe you want to look in on somebody. I get that, right? Necromancy, to a degree, I even understand, right? You just got a lot of bodies, and maybe you want to put them to some good use. But this is... Why? Healing magic exists. There's no need for that. I mean, you could... There's tons of ways, magically or otherwise, to harm people. I mean, I guess having it as a spell resource is interesting, although somewhat morbid.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I make it through, I'll ask more questions about it. The why. If I don't make it through, I'm sure you can ask those questions.
I can't wait to be left with Koya. Thank you. That's going to be fun.
You thought I was a bad student.
I mean, you are, but no self-respecting student would bring me here.
Desperate times.
All right. Are you ready?
I dare say this qualifies.
Koya is still kind of looking at you. So we continue?
Oh, sorry. I was consulting my...
Next of kin, I understand. I
think I'm ready.
Very well. He continues to kind of go down the stairs, guiding you down. And it's... The one thing that's weird is the darkness. It just hangs. Like the shadows do not want to give in to this light. What would normally be something that's easy to see through, even with your vision, is difficult to do so. You can tell how strong the light is based on its point of emission, right? You can say, okay, a firelight has a certain level of illumination. These are bright, but it's still almost barely enough to push back the kind of darkened shadows, which, if you're looking at it, almost seem to move. It plays with your mind a little bit. But Clay doesn't seem to pay much attention, and you probably think it's best to keep yourself from not being distracted by this. But you eventually land in a kind of open, what looks like a octagon kind of situation, with every other side of the octagon having kind of a blood fall, like waterfall of blood kind of coming down and seeping around. Again, there's a moat that goes around it. And if you looked at your feet, you can see more intricate kind of Nexel style grooves carved into the stone that you're actually standing on. The stone itself is a combination of limestone and obsidian. The elements of it, you can imagine the kind of flattened obsidian would be quite slick if there was some blood on it, and you're thankful that for now there is not. But you're going to them. Get out of here, Foos.
I was no shit very good. I was like, the hell is she? Did she mean to talk to Dubs? She knows he's not here, right? Oh, I see what's happening now. All right.
The octagon was a shape in use before Dana White was born. Okay, don't put that on me. Anyway,
oh no.
back to your death. We've
Rude.
Koya sits for a while on the ground and meditates without kind of any word. He just sits down, crisscross applesauce, almost like Dalai Lama style, takes a deep breath, and just exhales. And to your perhaps horror, does not inhale for like at least a couple minutes. But after minute 2, he inhales and stands back up again. It's been years. The spirits are still clinging to this place. There's still hunger here. This trial is perhaps among the most dangerous. You must call upon yourself and let a little bit of something in. It's what allows you to smell, to feel, to have a greater sense of control. It's not an entity per se. You're not going to lose your, well, you shouldn't. You might lose your will to this. But should you conquer it, it opens more doors. I'm not sure how you're... Oh, sorry.
Is the method to conquer this that of power or wit? Or perhaps something different entirely?
It's a combination of will and understanding. A will to see yourself unmoved by forces other than yourself. And the patience to see something for what it is.
Well, I think we got 1.5 of those boxes checked.
With any luck, that's enough. I am unsure of how your people commune, but I will not. I can instruct you if you want, otherwise the floor is yours. Your goal is to commune with one of the many spirits floating around here and try to get an understanding, see things through their eyes, experience the world as they do. But again, they might try to take something from you.
Okay, so I'm used to, and he's gonna kind of look around. I'm used to a little more nature, if you will. What would they be used to? Other than, the blood and sacrifices. Understood.
Overly ambitious wizards, battlefields that are where fighting has completed, crypts perhaps, places in which the dead and living commingle for a bit, where life does not have a strong hold on this realm.
With that, his mind's kind of like flood with that spirit passageway that we went through, where the lady called out to Soterial. It's like, I think I have a place in mind.
Good. Begin at your leisure. I will observe.
All right, out of character. Is this just like a pool of blood? Are there like little pedestals or something? Like, is he about to be like a fucking?
So
make
you're
blood
not
angels?
I mean, you could if you want. So basically, what's happening is these. So in this not MMA octagon, it's surrounded by a blood moat, right? Which is probably, I'd say, like a foot long and quite deep because there's a lot of blood falling into it and it's not going anywhere. The dais that you're on, that is also the octagon thing, is raised above it. I'd say probably like a good 8 inches. So it's not like a way where like you're standing on blood, but you could see where there'd be grooves where the blood could flow through the stone.
Okay. Um,
And if you want, you could also give me a perception check or investigation, really, because you can take your time here. You're not in a rush. So whatever works for you, if that's what you want to do to get a better idea of your surroundings, perhaps.
you said investigation if he's not in a rush.
Yeah, investigation or
Yeah,
perception. You have time, so it's not like you.
I'll do some investigaciones. He gets that. Right? Let me double check. Yeah, yeah, he does. Or is that already in there? Double check something before I click on shit and be a dickhole on accident.
Yeah,
Shut
don't
up,
do that.
Foos. Alright, we're good. What up, Kit?
Hold on. Oh, goddamn kid. Okay. Yeah. You are, through just careful study, you are making note of the runes around and the general kind of construction of this place. It is old. It is such that you can, given your investigation check and like your kind of now new studious point of view, it's almost like proto ruins, not ruins, but proto structures of what you've seen the Nexels do. Like it's an earlier version of their current style of architecture and art. It You're seeing spirits kind of drawn out in like geometric kind of. Yeah, have you ever seen the Aztecs, how they did like their serpents, right? It's not smooth at all. It's like chunk 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 chunk. You're getting like elements of that kind of built in, like somewhat geometric representations of various spirits, and what looks like perhaps a deity that you may or may not recognize. Give me a religion check.
Religion. Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh shit.
This god kind of evades. It's a rare one. It's not one that's anywhere near native to where you were from. But there is a god there that does not match the one that they had spoken to you earlier. So perhaps there was a change in worship or something with their pantheon at some point. But this is the only place that you've seen it represented.
Taking all that in, I guess he'll kind of pause for a minute and he's trying to like really relax himself as far as like the feel of rush, knowing that they can do the whole time manipulation, like is what he's banking on there to try and like really give himself as much as he can to this without losing himself in it is his goal. Whether or not that happens, I don't know, but once he feels ready, he'll kind of sit down, kind of like where you like lay on your legs and you're kind of sitting on your feet type thing.
Uh-huh.
And he'll try to commune, focusing on that spirit hallway thing that they went through before. Use that as a conduit, I guess.
Okay. So we're gonna do a combination roll. I'm gonna need a D100 for your communion, and you may also give me your Arcana check as like like to add on to that.
Oh boy. Ooh, that rolled from the 9 to the 3. All right. All right. All right.
Okay. All right.
Damn, did you ever roll a D20 and almost roll higher than your D100 roll? God dang.
Fighty did. You exhale for a moment and you can begin to feel them. They are inquisitive, but you can sense a predatory nature to them, kind of like wolves investigating a camp. And for a moment, you focus a little bit too much on the wolven nature of it, like just the threat kind of triggers a fight or flight response. But the instruction of you need to understand these are spirits in that particular element of it, your training in the arcane kind of suppresses that for a bit, knowing that you need to kind of gel with them at least for a bit. And with that kind of patience, you see, it gets aggressive to a point. Like the in your mind, you can feel its presence coming towards you. But when you calm yourself down, the aggression part of it dies away, but it is still extremely close. At this point, you are kind of ready to start the bonding process. I would say you can essentially let the creature in, and then you would have to do another couple series of rolls. Or you could keep it here and take Koya's invite to leave.
He's gonna like kind of pause for a bit and see if he can't. How does that thing work again? I think it's hemokinesis. Is that it?
Yes, you're talking about the one that you can control blood with?
Nope, not that
Yes.
one. Blood reading. That's it.
Okay.
That makes more sense. He's gonna see if he can't use blood reading, I guess, to kind of get a read on this thing. I don't
Okay.
know if that's possible because I assume it's like non-corporeal at the moment.
Yes, it is very not flesh and blood. It is a spirit.
Okay.
So it wouldn't exactly apply to this
All right.
particular creature, unfortunately.
So he'll kind of pause for a minute, see if he can't like see if it's like, fluttering around eagerly or something like that, or if it's just kind of like just study it for a minute. Just get that one-on-one, and then when he's ready, he'll, I guess, let it in.
Okay. He's also going to roll.
Oh, that's a 2.
So that is roll.
Is that good or bad?
You haven't seen the change in its demeanor yet.
Oh boy.
I just want to point out my first roll was 2. In case you're wondering who was
hopefully
the
that's
king
good.
of low rolls. The crown is still on my head.
All right. He's gonna kind of take a different approach to it, I think, than normal. And I don't know if there's actually like a door or something in between it, but he's gonna like apparate a door if he can in his mind space and like kind of leave it cracked. It was like, you can come in, but I'm letting you in.
All right. The mind space door is not an issue. Roll me. So I think I'm going to give you a couple of options for this. You can do a Arcana, where it's more like you're trying to take the more academic approach to this. The other would be survival, whereas you are trying to communicate with a creature that perhaps is alien to you in that regard. Like there's kind of like a trapper trying to hang out with a bear, right? Like it's a little dicey.
Oh no, Dennis, why'd you give me that option? Plenty wants to use Arcana because it's the higher roll, but Rolim would definitely try it from a survival aspect. Yeah, alright. I don't like it. Okay.
The creature, and you see it almost for the first time now, and it looks like it's a shadow with like almost a triangular head, kind of almost like almost a childish drawing almost of a cat, if you will, but the edges are all fuzzy. The elements of it's black, and the hair of it stands straight up and it's spiky all around. It has these two kind of slits for eyes, and you can see fangs that come down from it, and its hands are like this combination of like a raccoon's and a human's, like just kind of almost unwieldy at times as it kind of goes around your mind door and like brings one foot in and then the other, and you'd see that it is indeed a quadruped. There is a tail that kind of lashes about, and as it comes in, it sniffs the air and immediately rushes up towards you. Give me a Constitution save.
You said save, right?
Yes.
Oh boy. Can I just switch to Rolim's character sheet?
You mean rounds? Because you should be on rolls.
Yeah. Oh no. He might
Rolim,
not be fine.
mark me off a death save, please.
Oh shit.
The creature jumps inside you, and immediately you feel your own heart go into a tachycardia style, a rhythmic beating. Your blood is hot on one side, cold on another. It feels like something is ransacking its way through your vascular system. It is both horrifying and alien at the same time. Give me another Constitution save. This isn't for death, just so you know, but this is to see how well you recover from this particular assault.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Barely. You didn't shunt it out of you. It's still in there. It's like it's foraging. It's almost like imagine like a wild animal that was just been given free rein on you, essentially, right? It is both inquisitive and somewhat like damaging in how it goes about this. And you are able.
If he can feel that going on, he's gonna try and lead it to like the fights that he's had, the times that he's been knocked out and gotten back up again, because they ain't ever gonna keep him down. Everything that Mr. Koya there told him that they focused on, like he's gonna try his best to kind of align those in the hopes that it'll go after that, not his poor precious brain.
Okay. I would say this is an element of your will, so it's either survival or I'd even say charisma save.
Ooh.
As it is like a force of your personality, like this is who I am.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right.
Awesome. All right. And with that, you assert who you are and whose body this actually is. And the creature, at first, is kind of rebellious. It doesn't want to listen to the host, if you will. But it does eventually, with the strength of that same force of personality, it does cower for a little bit. It slows down. You have its attention. It's still ready to act, and you can see it in your mind's eye, just kind of pacing around you, that kind of predatory behavior that it exhibits. With its hair all kind of standing up, the tail is just a straight line up, and it is walking around you very kind of smoothly, but definitely like you have my attention situation.
He was sent here to commune and learn, so I think I don't know if this thing understands him. We'll understand him, so he'll try and be like, good, I have your attention. You have mine now.
The creature looks at you and begins to kind of slowly walk up to you. Its paw reaches out for. I assume how are you standing in your mind space?
He's still resting, like the same way that he went into this. He's still sitting there. He's on his shins, or he's sitting on his feet and his knees are out front.
Okay.
Probably like hands on his lap, something like this,
like a kung fu master kind of pose. I like it. He'll walk up to you. His paw will go on one of your thighs, and you'll hear like intense sniffing, and then like a snort. And he looks at you, and you look at him, and there's like a bit of a hesitation as you feel yourself kind of get pulled into his own mind space. And it is one of the weirdest out-of-body experiences you've ever had. You feel yourself leave your body. You see your kneeling self as it goes forward into you. And maybe slightly horrifically, you watch as he leaves his body and goes into yours. But as you guys switch off, you are now feral. Any kind of advanced thoughts that you had are drowned out by the need to eat, to find shelter. There's blood all around you. You can smell it. You can feel it. You can taste it. It becomes this drive. I need you to give me a wisdom save, sir.
Do you see the wonderful cat butt?
I do. He's helping you.
Okay.
You're able to kind of, for now, push aside the need to consume, the need to hunt, the almost permanent fight or flight status that you often have until somebody asserts dominance, and are able to kind of slow down and take things in. And you notice that blood has a very, very distinct smell to it. You can feel it on the air. You can hear the currents coming down. Like, it feels like all your senses are just dialed up to 11. There's again, a hunger, like part of it, you want to consume it, but you also, behind all this animalistic need, you feel the power behind it, that it represents life, it sustains life, it in itself holds the histories of people who have come and gone before. You're getting a deeper understanding of where this kind of power comes from. It's similar to how warlocks perhaps invoke demons onto their name, right? If you have a true name of a extraplanar creature, you can bind it, right? You can do a lot of things, but you have power over it. Blood has the same kind of effect on terrestrial creatures, and you're beginning to kind of get an understanding for it. And what I will say is, give me one last Arcana check to see how well you process this. My man is rolling straight 13s. I love it. You, despite not having your own mental faculties, are able to kind of piece this together. You have a base understanding of the power of blood at a core level. However, you're still trapped in this fox's, or whatever you want to call its, body. And it is still in yours. How do you wish to proceed?
Well, I guess, does he feel like there's more to learn? As a not him with the higher order thinking?
You still, again, you're not going to be like, well, the equation for this is blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you still have your cunning, I would say.
All right. Does he feel like the lesson that he needed to learn is learned, I guess? Or does it feel like there's more to learn?
I hate to be that guy, but both. You could go further if you want. But you also, based on what Koya said, have completed this stage.
Oh, okay. So based on what I've completed. Okay. He'll try and tap into the feralness that he's inherited in this form, and kind of do one of those stare downs with his body, and give him that kind of like, if you don't concede, I will for us.
Okay. Roll me an intimidation check.
Oh.
You kind of angle, and your newly sharpened features, you begin to kind of hunch over and become aggressive toward your current self. And you watch almost comically as your body gnashes its own teeth, and you rise to your full, almost 8-foot height above this creature, kind of menacing above it. the way the creature walks around in your body is somewhat awkward. It's definitely not used to being a biped. It's like almost a little too hunched over, and it's trying to deal with not having a tail. There's a lot of balance issues that you can point out as being someone of nature, but it is clearly not buying your act.
I don't know what he would do next. Can he? I guess get a read on his body's heart rate or something like that.
Using your new senses, yes. Give yourself a perception check.
This kitty cat is being obnoxious tonight. He's not normally this obnoxious.
He's trying to help you live.
Oh, that's another 4.
It's a 4, but the roll is not bad. You calm down for a moment, back off, start to tap into your new senses, and you can feel or you can hear the heartbeat, your heartbeat, in that creature. It is accelerated. It is ready to throw down. This is, if your heart rate was this high and you were in it, you would definitely know that this is, you only get that when you're in a fight or there's something, that is going to cause you to have need for that kind of a blood rate.
Can he? Let's see. He learn. I feel like he'll kind of like give like the sniff as he's doing his thing, and then kind of like sit there and raise his head and kind of trying to give the impression of like, do you have something else to teach? Or are we good now?
Okay.
Like, I'm still listening if you're talking. Otherwise, get the fuck out.
I think it's up to you. You can do a persuasion, which because it feels like a conversation here, or maybe if you're posturing, it could be a performance.
Do persuasion. I'll definitely go persuade. He's trying to like, well, all right, what you got? We talking or we not? They got shit to do. But I have time. But this ain't my body. Oh, okay.
You are able to craft a communication with that creature, and it understands you, despite your probably immense language barrier, and attempts to somewhat slappily put you back into the position that you were in. You're kind of leaning off to one side and like using your hand as a support, as it doesn't know to really engage the core muscles properly to maintain that kind of a position. But you can tell that it is willing to do the exchange in which you are attempting to demand.
Does he know how they bow? Like, has he ever seen Koi or anybody bow?
Bow?
No.
Like
give any sign of gratitude, I guess.
Oh, gratitude. I don't think so. They've been trying to sacrifice people. They weren't all that thankful. Yeah. You guys kind of yelled at them.
Just kind of give like a. He'll mirror. He'll try to return this creature's stance back to the way he found it, I guess, since it's doing that for him.
Okay. Oh boy. I'm not gonna make you roll because of your history with nature. Specifically how I'd imagine animals move, stuff like that. Your dad was a ranger. he would have taught you the basics in body language on how these things happen. So I'll let you tap into that side of it, and say that you are putting him back into the position that you were previously.
Is he a ranger or a druid?
Druid. I'm sorry, Druid.
Okay, I had to look at
I
my notes
totally made
because
that up.
I was
No,
like,
you're right.
maybe I was wrong. But
You're right. In my brain, flipped it because it's a Foos NPC, and in my brain, Foos is always a ranger. So I have a hard time separating it. However, you do recall that when this started, when you guys both looked directly at each other and had that kind of mind meld there. It's up to you to start it, but you're in position to do it.
yeah, he'll get in position and
Okay.
do
Again,
what he has to do.
weird out-of-body experience, round 2, as you kind of float back and past the creature as you both inhabit your original bodies. Yours feels a little colder. Maybe you got used to the pseudo fur, but when you get back in there, the knowledge that you gained from that experience carries over with you.
Does it feel like I still have all my blood?
What the hell kind of a check is it? Give me a medicine check, because I imagine you're gonna like pat yourself. Because like sometimes you don't know, right? Like you get hurt, and you're like, man, is everything still there, right? So I can't say that you would intrinsically know.
Oh, all right, Foos, here's you a no stat roll. That's a flat 12.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to discern that there has been no additional damage to you so far. Besides the fact that you feel a little bit less healthy than you did going into this. That's the only significant change.
Excuse me. I apparently needed oxygen. With that, he'll kind of leave his mine door there, I guess, still, and wait to see if this critter is gonna leave it or if it's staying to ponder some more. Like, kind of, watch it for a little bit, and then when he feels it's right, he'll pull out.
You watch as it turns towards you. It goes to leave, but before it fully leaves, it kind of gives you a nod. And you could have sworn its hair was maybe a little bit redder than it was when you saw it last.
Like Rolim red or blood red?
Like Rolim red, as it begins to exit your mind space. When you come out of your communing, the smell of blood is so strong. It was there before, but it feels like your sense for it has been permanently heightened. And the sound of your own heartbeat is going to be something you're going to need to learn to drown out as you go forward.
Oh boy.
Is that you seem a lot more attuned to that as well. Koya walks over to you. I see you've paid your first price, but you made it. Offers his hand down to you.
He'll offer his up, I guess, and
pulls you up with a surprising amount of ease.
He's fighting he's like, should I ask what the cost was, or do I just figure that out later?
Well, I mean, you failed the death saving throw, so
yeah.
There's that. The exact cost, yeah, you could.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
He'll hold on to it for now.
All right. So, you have an understanding of its power and how to detect it. Are you ready for the next lesson?
Time's relative, right?
Always. Especially here.
Let me focus on this a little bit.
As you wish. He just kind of bows and backs out of your vision.
And he'll sit down and he'll take some time to attempt to get used to his new senses instead of just head charging into the next step.
Excellent. All right. You just gotta meditate for a bit.
Yep, he's gonna
Awesome.
pay attention to his heartbeat and try and get it to where he can desensitize himself to specifically the things that are gonna be constant forever for him.
Okay. Just try to adapt to the new changes. I like it.
Yeah. Instead of just going in, what's the next one? Oh my god, I can't hear you over my heartbeat. What the fuck? What? Huh?
I'm gonna give you roll me a D100, and this isn't a success. It's just to see how much time it takes for you to attune. Like you're gonna do it. Just how long does it take for you to get?
I'm gonna be so mad if this is a high one. Okay, nope,
Don't
we're
worry.
staying in the. I don't think I've ever that's probably a good average for me for D100 rolls.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen you roll above a 60. I think ever.
It's been a minute. There's been a couple times.
Yeah.
Hot damn. All right.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna roll low, here's where you want to roll low. Time is a little strange here, especially when you're monitoring your own heartbeat and trying to, fall into that. So I would say you do lose a decent track of time, but from a game perspective, I'd say it's been probably the better part of an hour by the time you finally begin to, live with that sound and not have it interfere with your own senses.
I would say he's still a little worried, but for the most part, passage of time doesn't. He's not as worried as he would be. Basically, he's more he's already mentioned once that it takes time. It's not something you can rush, so he's focusing on allowing that time to pass, however it needs to pass.
Fair enough. All right. It wouldn't take much longer than that, and you could take an extra few minutes if you'd like, just to ground yourself.
Once he has a good, relatively comfortable feeling for it, he'll kind of pick back up again, keep his eyes closed, kind of sensing it. Does Mr. Koya have blood in him right now, or is he bloodless?
Okay. All right. How am I having to do this? Nature or survival? Or no, excuse me, or perception. That's the one. Perception, I would say.
Okay. I was gonna say.
First and foremost.
Woo! That's my only strong wisdom. That's a 7.
That's 7. You concentrate for a bit, and it is so faint, but you hear it. It's probably once every 20 seconds, but it is, and it's a strong one, but it's so slow.
He'll keeping his eyes closed. He'll kind of. I don't assume that he was facing him initially, so he'll kind of turn his head in his direction and be like, "I think I'm ready now." And then he'll kind of pause, tilt his head, is like, "Is that a common trait, or is that a cost that you paid?"
Koya hesitates for a moment. Some fail, some pass, but all pay a price.
Can you get any sort of insight of what the answer was? Because he's leaning more towards that he paid a price.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting to know this guy. Yeah, it's, is based on what he's saying, that is a cost that he had to pay.
He'll pocket that away into terrifying questions he wants answers to later.
Hell yeah. Let me know when you're ready for the next steps.
I'm just trying to write down some notes before I. That's my artist's interpretation of what you described to me.
That's beautiful. That's actually not far off. That's honestly perfect. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, Flandy, I wish we could clone you and give you like one of those huge like palette boards and just have you do like caricature drawings as we go. That would be
Oh
so
boy,
cool.
I am definitely not that good.
Oh my god.
All right,
But
Fighter is
no,
ready. Rolim is terrified.
uh, so just for your own knowledge, and I'll get this in there. This isn't a spell, but you've gotten a. First off, you have the ability to detect blood within a specific radius. Anything within 60 feet, you kind of know the nature of. In terms of like, oh, I mean, also based on what you've been exposed to. So, like, let's say you find some poor dwarf stabbed, you'll know what dwarf blood smells like, stuff like that, so on and so forth. And again, that's within 60 feet. Anything within 20 feet, if you concentrate and pass a perception check, you can hear heartbeats that are pumping living blood. If it's like some kind of weird construct, it doesn't really count. It's tied to live blood. In addition to that, you have what is now called spell clot. So once per day, once per long rest, when you deal damage to a creature that has blood and you're using a blood spell, you can cast another blood spell immediately that would be an action as a bonus action on that same turn, as you are able to manipulate their own blood against them, essentially. So I'll give you that thing in a second here, but yeah, it's spell clot. Yep.
I'm looking at the hemodome, and my brain keeps thinking Assassin's Creed, the way the chevron is between the eyes.
Oh yeah, okay. Hell yeah. God, Assassin's Creed, I wanted that to be so much more than what it was. I love the first game. Oh geez, that's not pasting right. You gonna make me paste this over here? God dang it.
Pasties.
There we go. Pasties. Does that say tum? It should be turn. There we go. Cool to read good. Okay, it should be in your blood magic thing. I know it's a bit of a mess because it's like 8 pages long at this point, but
There we go. Yep.
that's in there. Whew. Okay, I think we are done with that stage, that part of this stage. If you are ready,
we're done.
Koya.
And we succeeded. Everything's fine.
Nope,
He's a blood master.
He's a blood master. That sounds like the edgiest thing in the world. Dark Blackfire Wolf X Bloodmaster. Anyway, edgelords aside, Koya comes up to you. Now that you have an understanding, I'm going to give you a choice. And he kind of holds out his hands and spreads them, and you see one that looks like it's a regular kind of blood orb that you had before, but you see it morph into different shapes, like a blade, a spike, like different things, clearly like some kind of weaponized form. Another one represents a helix as the blood kind of forms into one and it spirals upwards. And another one is a representation of kind of like a almost like a spirit unto itself, just kind of spinning around in a very spherical kind of pattern, but it is blood, so it's like a trail of blood that's just kind of like weaving around itself. One is a path for aggression, the other for mending, and another for utility.
Can you get a sense of what the utility would be?
That's a good question. I mean, you could ask him, or you can do an insight on him.
I feel like he wants to try an insight, I guess, what the blood's doing, I guess. Like,
Okay.
The offense is obvious because it's like fucking weapons and shit. The
Yeah.
helix, I assume, was the heal because it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess he's trying to figure out what that last one is. Like, is it chaos? Is it what's going on there?
Okay. Roll me an insight, sir.
Another flat roll.
I know what that's like. It's tough to discern. I don't want to say it feels. I'm trying to find the right word because I'm not finding it, but supplemental, I think, is probably what comes to your mind. Something that would accentuate or assist that which already exists.
He's kind of like tilting his head back, and he's choosing as carefully as he can. He's seen his friends take a lot of damage. He knows Revive is capable of doing a lot of damage, as well as Katasu. And now we have a paladin, maybe? So he's perusing his choices. And I feel like while he wants to go healing, there's a small, like, non-Ant Deep voice in the back of his head. That's like, perhaps that may be helpful. It might not be taken well. So this has probably been like minutes of him just kind of like being incredibly pensive looking over them. I think I've made my choice.
Indeed.
Choose door number 3. But I'll say that way cooler.
Koya wipes away the other two as the spiraling kind of little one, or the support one remains. Interesting choice, given your path. As you will. And he walks towards one of the blood falls, and again kind of parts it and is able to. And you're both very tall, so bridging this gap is not a problem. If there was a shorter person here, it might be an issue, but you are able to walk across the moat with a single stride underneath the bloodfall as you walk kind of further into the darkness as he takes you towards your selected path.
Darkness.
Give me a second while I look at my notes and just make sure. I wasn't sure which path you were going to pick. Let's see.
When you started mentioning him, I just pictured Maya as like, I wanted power, and I got this stupid pet.
She was so mad.
It was great.
I just got that memory just back in my head. She's just... I've never seen somebody so mad to get a cat. Oh God! All right. Oh, Maya, I love you. Wherever you are, I hope you're happy. Okay. He walks you into the next room, and this one is more like a auditorium of some sort. You see the kind of again geometric patterns carved into the floor. There are rivulets of blood that kind of run through the actual sides of the walls, and as you look at the walls, they are actual thrones. There's 6 of them that surround you, and each one has a different leader or representation of a leader on top of them, split evenly, 3 female, 3 male, with all kinds of, you can tell some are warriors with the armor and scars and how big they are. Others are clearly scholars. Another has a mask that looks almost exactly like Koya's. Some of the females, one of them has a headdress not dissimilar to Kia's that you have seen before. They are all kind of perched in kind of a regal fashion, but you notice as you walk into the middle of this room, very subtly, First their eyes, and then their heads begin to look down towards you.
I feel like he's gonna like instinctually want to be like, "Hello, I'm Rolim. Hi, how's it going? Greetings of the forest. Hi." but he's like, actually, you know what? I'm gonna give him a wisdom check, see if how well he if he handles it. I don't know, smartly or not. Say anything less than a 12, he'll be his usual self. Yep.
Koya looks at you and them, and even despite the fact he has a mask on, you can tell he's smiling. there's a bit of a grin to him. But as you guys doing, this is the Hall of Lords, where previous rulers judge thee and essentially grant you the powers that you might not normally find academically.
I feel like he's gonna like understand the gravity of it, and I think he'll relax a little bit because he did show his true colors, and maybe that'll help.
Koya looks at you for a moment, pulls out one of his hands, or both of them at this point, and begins to siphon a little bit of blood from you, from your open cut, and takes it and kind of spirals it upwards. Like imagine a piece of paper that was like tightly wound and then like just accordioned up.
Oh, shit.
But as it goes up, you watch as you see your brother, you, your father, your mother, your grandmother, your aunts.
No shit making the bloodline.
Going all the way up. It goes to the point where like you see yourselves where you were actual giants before the Fae infected you and became what you were, and it keeps going up and up and up to the point where it disappears into the darkness above.
I feel like he's gonna be fascinated in that and just like stare in awe.
This power is open to you should you pass the next trials. It is one that needs to be tempered, and it's a example of knowledge and being sought, specific strong amounts of knowledge being stored within the bloodlines of people. You can use this as a conduit for knowledge, and if in some instances perhaps a conduit for ill, as we are all tied in one way or another to each other.
I'll kind of give the nod as he's looking, going through like the people he's recognizing. He's not like being too animated about it, but he's definitely like, okay. And then he's like focusing on past where like he no longer knows. And a little bit of a pause, if there's time, a little bit of a pause, like where like the changes really start occurring and how long it was, how short. He's very fascinated right now and probably paying a little bit more attention to that than he should.
I understand the appeal, and you should in time be able to do it to that level of depth, although today it might be a bit shorter. All of this requires practice.
Yeah. I'll smile. And he'll look at him and be like, in due time.
Excellent. So, it's not dissimilar to blood reading, but you are taking a different path. And he snaps his fingers, and some of the blood that is running through the statues pool into, kind of leak out and pool towards the middle of this dais where you guys are. And it's not at your feet, obviously, it's being directed away. And with another snap, raises his hand, and you watch as a humanoid figure kind of becomes into shape. It doesn't generate skin or anything, but it is a kind of blood-borne
Oh boy.
humanoid that looks at you. Yet another construct you can call upon should you master this power. But for purposes now, I would like to see you try to read this creature.
He'll kind of do that, take a deep breath, and he's going to relax. And he's going to try to initially just his natural ability, like, read it before trying to do any sort of blood magic.
Sounds good.
Just so it's kind of like a homage to don't forget where he came from. As well as, again, emphasizing the taking his time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you are in the space. And I just want to point out that Koya is never rushing you.
Oh, yeah.
He's, even when you're taking the minutes and he's just holding his hands out passively. It's stoic at your own pace.
But when your heart beats once every 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, you got all the time in the world.
But yeah, so he'll try and read naturally and see if he can't glean anything and
sure, give me an
based
insight
on
check.
its reaction is when he'll do his next reaction, I guess. There's another nat one.
Brother, I gotta say, you are rolling bad when you need to. Like any other place, this is bad. You're getting those freebies out. Good shit. Get that cat back on. Use good luck. It's tough, man. At first, you're kind of trying to like look into it, but it's bubbling in a way. There's clearly like a flow going through it, and it's like, is it male? Is it female? Is it human? Is it half elven? Like, it doesn't even have ears. Like, it's just, there's a lot of questions that you're asking, and the shape of it generates more questions than answers, unfortunately for you. But you haven't actually started your process, so there is no harm, no foul in this particular instance.
So not having gleamed anything other than gleaming, there's information and non-information.
This one knows where it is because it knows where it isn't.
Exactly. He'll pause for as he's doing it, and he isn't directly reaching out to Aunt Deep, but he is he's gonna give her some attention real quick, and she's like, what the just kind of almost insight her, I guess, if she's there.
Okay. She is taking ferocious notes. Like, it is like you can see a very quick cross-hatched sketch of this creature and the room that they're in. Like, she's very quickly, you can tell she's been in the field before and she has had to take quick notes, and this is essentially what you're saying. But there's it's a flurry of writing at this point. When she picks her head up, it is definitely one of concern. But there's an academic need that's overriding that and forcing her to document essentially what's happening here.
He'll kind of to himself chuckle at that. He's not trying to initiate communication with her. He was just checking on her to see how things are going.
Gotcha.
Just one of those, if you could tell she's holding her tongue when she wants to say something, then that he'd let her. But seeing that she's doing that, he'll be like, all right. Can't be that far off the path that she has her, So he'll give reading this creature a shot with what he's learned.
All right.
He'll start slow. I think he'll start with just opening his senses, taking in, trying to check on the heart rate, things of that nature, and then work his way up to. I assume blood reading is what we're trying to do here.
It is a graduated form of it.
Okay, so he'll try and slowly arc up.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna jump right into it and be like, give me your blood.
Okay. So give me your first your spell casting modifier. So charisma plus whatever your modifier is. And as you described, you're not jumping feet first into it, so you're not going to be completely destroyed if you roll another one.
You just want a charisma check?
It's your spellcasting modifier, right? So yeah, I guess charisma, because it goes by.
Yeah. Because he was still trying to do that. He wasn't going about it wizardly. He was going about it like charisma.
Yep. So charisma works. You got it.
Work for me, damn it. That's what he's.
You're the charisma.
Ooh, all right.
Excellent. All right. So you
May or may
are.
not have that +2. I don't know if that applies to
You
that.
do. You absolutely do.
Okay.
That is a goddess's blessing. It follows you
Hell yeah.
until the time has elapsed. Or you elapse. So the
Rude.
you kind of do it in a similar fashion. But yours ends up being a little more like Russian dolly, as it kind of like you're not quite as eloquent as obviously Koya is at this. But as you pull it out, you watch as there are other kind of mezzo, kind of American looking natives that are surrounded. You can clearly see kind of like a family delineation. It goes up a generation. Looks more or less the same. You see the father as a warrior, the mother as a priest. There are several other children around. Goes up another level. There are more warriors in this group. Bit of rowdy group of people as far as you can tell. You can see them interacting with each other. You go up to the next one, and you see horns out of the mother. You go up the next level. There is a fell creature that is in this particular bloodline circle, amongst other Mezzo natives. Give me what is your experience with demons? I'd say give me a history check. We'll see if you can discern what you fought a bunch and got stabbed by one. So I imagine you know what that is. But
I imagine that was his first time.
yeah.
Ooh, all
Awesome.
right.
Very cool.
All right.
You recognize this one as a Cambion, which is in and of itself a hybrid of demon, essentially, a fiend that is in front of you. This one seems to be on the hellish side, based on the pointed tail and the less egregious horns. And you're able to go up one more level and see someone that looks somewhat close to Koya. Like you can see similar kind of features, especially in like the build structure.
Is this going up or down? Like
Up. So basically, the way it works is like obviously it's like reading a family tree. So each
Right.
level above is your generation previous.
So this is potentially a descendant of Koya.
Correct.
I feel like he'll go ahead and. Well, he looks familiar.
He does indeed. Blood runs deep, obviously. But as you can see, some families have deeper secrets than others. It would be
I think I've found most families have some sort of deep secrets.
agreed. Should you do this on other people, just warn them of what they may or may not see.
He's gonna kind of like give one of those like clever girl, but like more in the sense to like, I didn't think you'd have that level of compassion. Like, all right, good to know. That's
Pick one of them.
uh that kind of like shatters his like clever girl moment. He's just like, uh. He's gonna try and see which one has. I don't know if they have it, but he'll kind of like see if he can't glean which one would have the strongest heartbeat or bloodline or something of that nature. Like, What
Okay.
blood related is drawing him to it?
I guess roll me an insight.
Gross.
Let's see if you're using intuition, my man. I don't have anything better than that.
Take that.
Nice.
That's a flat 17.
+2. You are able to kind of concentrate for a bit, and if you're looking for the most, I guess, strongest nature in the bloodline, it would be Koya's look-alike in that tree. The most unique, obviously, is the Cambion.
Well, now he's in a dilemma because he wants to choose the strongest, like what's pulling to him blood-wise. But now it feels kind of forced and awkward that he'll try to stifle through that part and be like, despite the cunning similarities, this one draws my attention.
Good. He should. Was a magister of unparalleled skill.
Flanny wants to say, well, that means he intersected somewhere, but
Oh boy, shots fired. Focus on him for a moment. In this place, time has no meaning. And therefore, you can have access to things that no longer exist in the prime realm.
he's gonna like pause to ponder the implications thereof. Like knowledge or more?
Could be more, should you want it. Part of blood magic is exerting your will. That is why it's so important that you master that particular part.
So you're saying having 10 wisdom is probably not the greatest for this your endeavor?
I also count charisma as kind of a force of personality that doubles as will perspective. Because they separated as soon as they moved from the reflex, strength, and will saves. Your intellectual part of you can be an aspect of that.
So what does he want him to do here?
He wants you to focus on that person, and then, as far as you can tell, exert your will in some way.
Okay. So Flandy just had the idea. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Rolim's gonna do, but he's not gonna be that cheesy about it. He's like, but with the charisma spin on it, it's like, but he won't be as more like almost like showing he's worthy to learn, not necessarily like, bet you gonna teach me today.
So there is a connection attempted to show that you are worthy of learning this. And as you focus in on the Koya look-alike, the Magister, more details start to come in. A headdress that, even though Koya has an amazing one, that is like Montezuma-esque, this one is even more rambunctious with feathers coming out from all kinds of different angles, multiple sets of fangs, actually two sets of eyes that kind of go up on an angle, like a pair here and a pair like up here. And to your horror, there is yet another pair of eyes behind it. You're not entirely sure if that's biological or if that is a illusion to maintain this kind of menacing composure.
I feel like if time allows it, he'll take a second to study that, since he is familiar with illusions. He's curious to know now.
Give me an Arcana check if you're going to study it. Okay. You are able to see that is in fact his eyes. You're not really sure how that's possible, but it's, as far as you can tell, it's not an illusion.
He'll kind of pocket that information. Interesting. And continue to, I guess, pay attention.
Its head begins to turn towards yours as it begins to kind of step out of the carousel that you have conjured. And initially in a language that you can't understand, but you hear a snap of Koya's fingers again, and it instantly gets translated into common. This isn't my timeline. Ancients, the hall looks at you. What are you? And it steps out further towards you.
Yeah, he'll do one of those like bow things.
Well, you have summoned me here. I trust you have a good reason.
I'm here to learn.
What exactly?
I was trying to ignore. Oh yeah. What is it? What?
Oh my God.
You just gonna yell at us? This Muggle girl.
I love how all your pets are coming to your aid.
He doesn't want to come off as arrogant for sure, but he does want to come off confident. So he'll kind of, I'm here to learn what I can. I have a unique situation with limited access to conventional means.
I see.
And your he doesn't know what to call Koya.
Yeah,
he's like your relative. Is guiding me on this journey.
He only sees you. I see. Roll a persuasion check.
Can I get bullshit advantage?
If you can give me a cheese reason, we'll talk about it.
Because he's such a likable person.
Yep, the next one's definitely appreciate. Kind and respectful people.
Ooh, all right.
All right, awesome. There's a change in his tone. I'm not going to lie, I've struck down people for less, especially how intrusive this was. But if my kin is with you, he is showing you our ways, strange creature. What specifically do you want to know?
I don't know what he wants to know, but notice what does he want to know?
From a DM perspective, maybe it's could be my bad for not being as clear. But Koya said you could basically kind of hinted at being able to cast spells on people, communicate with them, or interact in some other way. So in this particular instance, you could ask them for knowledge or something like that. You, from I'm going to say with an Arcana roll that you've had previously, it could be akin to speaking with dead, where you could ask them a bunch of questions from that bloodline, essentially. It would have to be obviously within reason, right? Like if somebody got assassinated, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, who killed you?" I'd be like, "I don't fucking know. I just died." Right? Like, so there's obviously an element of that, but
So
Essentially, you can ask a question, or if you felt talented enough, you could try to cast a spell on or through them.
that seems risky. No, so I see it going one of two ways. He's either going to elaborate on his situation
Mhm.
and emphasize that he's here to learn whatever he can, and he's trusts the judgment of the process, I guess. Or I feel like he's going to do that part. The other thing that he was leaning on would potentially be he understand like fighting Tabra and all the undead creatures. Um, I don't know if was there blood in those creatures anytime he was fighting it, or was it just more like a magical control of the bones?
Tabra, you fought. Some of them were, I mean, somewhat cadaverous, where it was like they still had some kind of liquid in them. Um, the majority of the creatures you fight, which I'm having a hard time even thinking of one that was alive. It
Yeah,
was generally just
yeah,
all undead constructs. You didn't really, because I mean, when you're alive, you got to feed him and stuff, and that's a lot of work, man. I mean, he doesn't have any food; he's just hanging out in space most of the time. Anyway, and so
yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah, so he'll probably lead on the first part because the
the
second part would be
collects
more
you
of a
can pull
way
a lot.
to kind of be like, look, these things are. I need a way to convince them to change teams, I guess.
You talk about the undead.
Between the undead, the firstborn that are unborn but reborn but unborn.
Okay. Uh,
Uh,
so
but
for the
yeah, overall, he's gonna explain his like, I I come to learn what best you have to offer. This is my plight. These are the things I have to deal with. These are the things I've learned so far. And these are the actions I've taken. And he'll kind of run through the fights that they've done, um, explain Dragoth and A, his abilities, and B, what he's done, both the Defiler magic that he caused, or he invoked, if you will, um, all the way through uh, getting rid of the staff and um, the lava thing, the thing that has lava, the volcano. That's the word.
gonna let you struggle there for a bit.
I appreciate it. True G.
I got you, brother.
But yes.
From a hemomancer standpoint, the undead can be problematic, to say the least. We focus on manipulating the blood of our foes. I can teach you perhaps a curse or two. You can you might be better served with more traditional elements of magic. Although, yes, the undead is a problem. You can. How much time do you have?
He'll kind of like chuckle. Well, outside of these abilities, not much. But inside,
Seem how to look around. All right. Call me again. Give me, say, a week. I'll work on something for you.
oh boy, cue montage.
Yep. And you see him kind of walk back into his space in the carousel, where he's more like an action figure than he's an individual.
And if you're cool with it, I'll say let's take a break real quick.
Okay, we'll take a break while
We'll be back at like 5. I got a phone call I gotta
awesome.
redo.
He's probably gonna leave me with a hot mic, so I gotta mute myself.
No, you'll be fine. All right, we'll be right back.
Max, thanks for.
All right, we're back. What better way to celebrate another shot killing than with cookies?
Man, I'm out of cookies. Let me get some cookies. I didn't know we were having a cookie party, man. I would have got some cookies. Flame's always doing that to me, man. Like, he'll get cookies or like drinks and stuff, and I'll just not have any because I'm not ready. Maybe I should just have cookies and drinks all the time.
I mean,
All
I
right,
don't see any issue with that.
my liver might, but anyway, what the heck were we? What kind of? It looks like chocolate chip cookies, Foos, as far as I can tell.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
I was typing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were montaging for a week.
Okay. So during that week's time, if you want to take a break for that long, a couple of things. You can continue to study if you want certain things and do certain roles for it. Or I guess you could ask, I guess, Koya for literature on some of this stuff. Which I think one of their options.
He would probably like trying to be like, well, we have a relative week now. Perhaps we could go through some of the lessons you normally teach people, or maybe you think it's better we not. Pretty open.
Okay.
Or actually, he'll also work in there like asking for a better idea of what the options are and what that means and how that compares. You know, like if you were in situation A, would you use magic B, C, or D?
Okay. All right. So roll me. Give me a D100 again plus your Arcana, and we'll see how much you absorb from this.
Oh boy, this is over the course of a week. What is it with me in 30s?
Wow.
It's always fucking 30 or lower. That was a 5.
That was a 5. Yep. So, I mean, not great. You are getting
It's a 30-year campaign too. Booze, get out of here. Sorry.
Special bonuses. Take that. Who's on PvP mode?
You are trying to kill me.
I'm not trying to kill you. I gave you several outs. Several. You didn't have to be here. All right. So you're in a weird spot as a caster because typically you cast intuitively. You can feel things and the power granted to you from Oberon are able to kind of manifest things and cast them at will, right? It's not something that you ever had to prepare. It's something you've felt out. With the addition of your crown and obviously Deet trying to teach you another way, the academic side doesn't come to you as naturally. I will say if there are some things that are like one action or something that's like more instinctive in terms of their casting that are less, to not make you sound like an idiot, but less cerebral than some of the other ones, I'll say you'll have a better chance of recasting them during this time. I'll lower the DC for those. Because showing that you can, evoke those properly. But I'll say the ones that are a little more technical, like blood reading and dispel, things that require a decent amount of like introspection or perhaps understanding of what's happening, you're still kind of shaky on. You're better off than you were for sure. Like it's not like you went backwards in your understanding, but you perhaps weren't as productive as you thought you would be, given this particular time frame.
Give it a week.
Yeah, give it a week. I will say Aunt Deet will pretty much force you to find any and all books so that she can transcribe or understand them. And I will have her roll her, what's it called, Arcana, and divide it in half and see how much she can force you to absorb. Because I imagine she might be able to understand it at an accelerated rate compared to you. Where is... Yep, NPCs. That's what she is. Oh my god, the amount of NPCs I have. Oh! is. I need to put all the gelatines in one place. That'd make my life a lot easier. Okay. So her Arcana.
It'd just be jiggling.
It's fucking 3. Man, I'm killing it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So again, for the record, boys, that 2 rolls, 2 and 3. No one's coming for this crown, baby.
Oh.
That is a 21. Those would be great rolls. That's true. That's true. But I don't have the $2,000 to spend on plastic and the extra $500 to spend on paint, and then the 200 hours it would take to paint the
Yes,
ball.
you do. You're single. Get out of here.
Yeah, man. I have 2 expensive hobbies
have commitment issues.
I do. I'm into cars and I'm into computers, man. I can't get another hobby, man. That's at that point I might as well have a spouse. Anyway, what I was saying.
You're saying that Andy figured everything out.
That's true. Divided by 2, we round down, unfortunately, so you can add 10 to that overall score. As she was having a hard time too, like, oh, this is disgusting. Why would you do that? That's really gross. What language is that? So I'd imagine she got probably a little distracted on her way of studying it as well, but is still able to kind of grasp certain things and help impart certain things for you. So I'm going to go lower some of these DCs, and I want to have you. Was there anything else you want to do in this time frame before I move us on?
That was it. I'm sure there'd be like some downtime where like, you'd be like resting and whatnot. And maybe he'd work on the cube, but I don't think it I don't want to like cheese that kind of time. If that's too cheesy, but
work on the cube. Oh, the cube.
The cube.
Okay. All right. I'll say, give me 3 int checks.
And he would still be he would take off the crown each time if he doesn't die in here. If he does that, is he gonna die if he takes off the crown?
He evaporates instantly.
Damn it!
No, he's not gonna die.
All right, you said 3.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Wow. Let's all be very thankful you just got all those out now.
So you think?
Sweet.
Oh boy.
Damn. Okay. So, I mean, needless to say, you did not make the progress you were hoping.
No,
over here.
That probably makes sense.
Okay. So the cube. Is there any reading you wanted to catch up on? Maybe. If you weren't doing anything, I'd imagine Deet would force you to learn some of the more of the schools of magic.
Wait a minute. 48 hours over a period of 6 days? I feel like we have that.
Yeah. What are you doing?
We absolutely have that.
You're reading one of the books, aren't you?
Rude. Yeah, because he still has the Tome of Clear Thought.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. If you want to, that adds a permanent what to intelligence?
I'm just gonna copy it.
Okay.
And pastas. Boop.
Okay.
What better place to fucking read a book?
Perfect. But it regains it in a century. All right. Yeah, that's more than enough time to do that. So we'll add that to your, among other things, to your thing, your bonuses. So mark up your int by 2. Although it's
be fucking brutal.
Oh yeah, that's my sister. I mean, are you surprised?
No.
Some books have pictures. That's true. Wow. All right. So we have that. It's up 2 days. You're working on the cube for some others. You were studying with Koya for some others. I'll say you have one more kind of day-long thing if you want to sneak that in. And
I think that's plenty because he would obviously if he needed to spill over a little bit past the week he would, but
sure.
I imagine between playing with the cube, reading the book, finding books for Aunt Deet, like that's a lot of shit to do over
Yeah, it's 7 days. You got time. All right, man. If you're cool with that, we'll proceed. I'm going to
Sorry.
have you roll me your casting modifier, the charisma.
The charisma.
You're still dumber than the ranger, right? Naturally. Yes, Fuse. Unfortunately, the wizard is a little bit slower academically than the ranger is currently. Uh, he is on the mission of self-improvement, though.
With a little bit of chaos. Are you gonna come yell at me again? You have food. You have water. You have everything. I don't. Oh yeah.
There it is.
Oh.
A week off of intensive thought has obviously done well for Rolim, and he is able to recreate that kaleidoscope from the blood figure that is still in front of him after all of that time. You are able to find Koya's ancestor, who seems to be waiting for you somewhat patiently.
I feel like he's gonna kind of do his best to acknowledge that. Yeah, he'll make a quip and be like, "Sorry, time travel's weird in here."
Indeed. Lucky for you, I'm a genius, and I got this done early. So,
Shit.
you are having trouble with the undead, I understand. I give you a spell with two options. The first, well, two spells really. The first would be to use the power of blood to reaffirm a creature's own native, I guess, or origin, to essentially snap out the animate spell from them, which would cause them to become inert. I will warn you, this may not work on some of the more intelligent creatures. The smarter they are, the harder this will be to pull off. So do not expect this to be a one-button fix for liches and things of that nature, but they're more martial-based creatures this would be very useful for. The second might offend your foreign sensibilities, but can be equally as potent. If you were to transfer a certain amount of blood from some vessel to an undead creature, you could take it over, forcing it under your will for a certain amount of time, given how much blood you've inferred or infused. In some cases, for the lesser things, it's permanent. For others, it will last again, depending on how much blood you've used. In some cases, in most cases, it will empower them as well.
Oh shit. Yo, if Rolim and fucking Valen had met each other,
Oh my god. Yep.
good lord. Oh, he'll kind of ponder is like both very effective techniques, to say the least.
As much as I can come up with within this space.
I greatly appreciate your time and wisdom, knowledge. I do see the power available in the latter, but I don't necessarily wish to bend things to my will per se. I think I would prefer the first option. Give them the chance to maybe figure out what's going on and return to a more natural order.
Well, dear child, you're going to take both. Whether you use them or not is up to you. But I didn't spend the better part of my week crafting these magnificent spells that the world has yet seen for them to go unused. You're at war, as far as I understand. With relatively high stakes, else you would likely not be here. I think the Rubicon you are trying to stop yourself from crossing has already been crossed. The creature is dead. It is a corpse. It has no will or feelings other than the ones you imply through my magic. Taking it over is no different than stealing a cart or a wheelbarrow.
He's gonna kind of linger on that for a minute and I had him do a wisdom check to see how he rationalized that, and he's gonna follow the rationalization. Like, I guess that makes sense.
Oh my god! All right. I was gonna say, wow, my brain is not.
Yeah, he'll just follow. I did not mean to offend you. You're definitely right. I will use them both as necessity requires.
Good. So you're
what's wrong? Not in this campaign.
You don't count misdemeanors here.
It's got to be worth at least 3 souls.
Right, yeah. It's got grand larceny is when we start carrying. All right, so the the first spell, the one that like takes over the thing, that's life infusion. And I will give you the details on that in a bit. And the other was, hold on.
I feel like I'm gonna have to study just to fucking play on Friday.
Yeah, pretty much. You're gonna have to.
Oh shit, that's tomorrow. Holy shit, this week's fun.
Friday? No, it's Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Yes.
Just kidding. It's over tomorrow.
I wish it was Thursday. What was I doing? I was getting the other spell for you. Hold on. Where did I have it?
On today's episode of Derail Each Other. You should see us play Total War Warhammer. It is great. We're awesome. We're much better in sync there than we are here right now. What? What is it? You've already had T1s. Yes, you have. I promise you have. Yep. You did. Yeah. Yeah. It's happening.
The other one is
from me.
infused purpose.
Infused
purpose.
And that was the one that he tried to decline but failed.
No, it's the opposite. Infused purpose is the one that basically brings it shatters the animation because you're bringing the body's soul kind of temporarily back, which is what breaks the bonds of that magic. The life infusion is when you're just shoving blood in that bastard and controlling, puppeting it through the blood, essentially, and taking it over and empowering it.
Does he feel like that would be like? So we know. I don't remember which of the soft treats that we chose to name it. By we, I mean you.
Yep.
Is the one that's like afraid of failing Drogoth, but does he have a good feeling if that'll work against them or not? Like using that would trigger that
on the
effect,
on the faithful. Let's see. That is. You probably wish you had Euphemi here, but roll me a history check. I'll say, because this was kind of a group discussion when you guys were trying to like, how are we going to kill all these guys?
Yeah.
So you kind of put all the secrets and stuff on the table from like what you guys learned from that. So I'll say, see if you can recall that. It might work.
Because he just remembers like what to do, like a major illusion of like Drogoth being like, "I'm disappointed."
Actually, all right, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna take that score, roll me an Arcana check. We're gonna add them and divide them in 2, and see if you, with your brain, can figure out. There was a throughput here.
Oh shit!
That might. Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, that works. Okay, so What is
Ooh.
that? Is my math not good? It should be good. That's a 50, right? 25. Okay, so um, the issue that you guys are having, and honestly, the reason why you're about to go to Athos is because conventional weapons do not work against these creatures, right? They need something born of their land to hurt them. That being said, if you were to grab blood that was from Athos and infuse it into him, that could get spicy. That would probably have a very strong potential effect. Is what essentially you would discern from that.
Is there a fucking moral check in this game? Holy fuck.
Hey man, you're in a fucking room full of blood. So yeah, that's essentially with the your history. You're like, I really don't know, but like the magic party is like, well, theoretically, if we did this, and that could work. So that would be a potential arm. And you get the fuck out of here, Foos. Nobody asked you.
Was that only affecting the firstborn? That wasn't affecting Jagoth Direct, right?
Correct. The firstborn are tied to Drogoth. So it, from a secondary perspective, it'll affect them, but not directly.
Cool. All right.
Can I ask them? Does it smell like Teen Spirit? Can you ask us the? You can ask whatever you like. It's just my sister's being a little crazy right now. I never had a room full of blood. Like we could get. Here we go. Never have I ever made a brain damage table for one of my mods.
You can't fight each other when only one of you is on camera. That's just not fair.
It's not fair.
Clips only.
Okay, fine. All right, that's fair. I can. Anyway, my own sibling beef aside. So it was a deal. Like it makes it better. Demons have feelings too.
For the win. I love it.
Yes. Yep. They're just in the meat bags. All right.
Like
so anyway,
I have another dad joke companion in this place.
I don't know if that's a good thing. Anyway,
it's a great
thing. Do not feed that troll, please. Anywho, all right. So the week has passed. You've been given those 2 spells. We'll add those to your things in a bit. There's 1, 2. So those are 2. All right. Koya is going to kind of look you over. All right. So you have 2 unique spells. After a week of waiting, you've shown that you have patience and the aptitude. But this is not all about discussions. And he forcibly plucks the Cambion out of that spell. Interrogate this one. See what you find. Not all will be as understanding.
Does with his earlier history check, does he know if Cambions have a like if they're like the top of the intimidation chain, if you will? If there's anything above them?
The Cambions are actually, they work outside the structure. They're not true demons, so they're not accepted as true demons. However, there's some that have risen very high to other demon lords. So there's an element of that. But there's kind of like half elves where like they're never really accepted by either society, unless they're exceptionally nice or whatever. Gotcha. Demons clearly are not. So they exist outside of it. They obviously are, like any other, are subject to intimidation, but it's also like a kid from a rough neighborhood, right? Like you got to really got to bring the heat if you're going to intimidate this guy.
He has the thought to change his appearance using his Furbolg abilities, but he'll he'll refrain. And uh, very well, I should be on my guard. I take it.
To a
And
degree.
he'll attempt to raise slash summon the Cambion.
The Cayman pulled out of the thing, and now that you go to speak with it, it kind of turns its head, and you can see there's like a little bit of a wry smile on his face. This is new. I haven't had this happen before. I don't recognize you, but I can smell your fey taint from here. What do you want?
What did he tell him to get from him?
Just see if you can, manipulate him.
Just to manipulate him. Oh boy.
That was the
like...
nice route. You're getting the feeling that this is the not nice route.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fooz's on a fucking streak right now. Yeah, I guess he'll kind of do the not nice route of the meaner show me what you got. Like bitch, I'm here to learn, and you have like 2 seconds to show me something useful, or you get in the backhand.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Oh. I would ask for advantage, but you did say I was just tainted. What you call it? Ooh, yes, take that. Whew. I saw it teeter out the 5.
Normally, I wouldn't entertain such crude and unimaginative insults, but you have me at a loss. Again, what did you want?
Flighty doesn't know what he wants. What is Rolim want?
Koya kind of like does the I'm whispering in your ear kind of situation. It's not about necessarily what you want. It's more about taking it. Don't forget, you can still cast spells on some of these people. This creature included. And kind of backs away.
Tell me what you want. What you really want. All right. With that being said, he's just trying to learn stuff. So that sounds like blood reading, maybe. Grim terror. What does that do?
It doesn't have to be a blood spell, student.
All right, now I'm confused. What am I doing?
You hear Deet kind of come in your head. Are you confused? Can I help you? You seem like you're paralyzed.
This is a new realm for me. I've never been the intimidator in this. I usually talk shit.
I see this. I think he's trying to tell you to back it up. What I would do is use polymorph because it's a great spell. It's relatively harmless, and turning a demon into a pig is kind of funny. But that's just me. However you want to do it. But I think he's trying to get you to, show a little strength, maybe a little bit of offense from a position that you, normally wouldn't have. But you seem very prone to conversing, which is fine, but I don't think that's the point of this lesson.
I guess he'll intelligent. How intelligent is it? Fuck it. He's gonna cast mental prison.
Okay, let me go make that save for you real quick.
And I guess with that, he's gonna kind of frame it to, was it? Because it makes it like perceive shitty shit.
Perceive shitty shit.
He's gonna try and make it perceive shit that's gonna make it act defensive, and he wants to see like what abilities it might use and how it's gonna defend itself if it's in a shitty situation, I guess.
Okay. So what you got to describe what the situation is. Also, what kind of save is it? Is it
Intelligence.
Int? Good. Int save. Oh, it's actually not bad. But I suck.
Yeah,
at
that's what I was
rolling,
afraid of.
Still
Shit.
fails. Okay. So the Cambion fails its save and is now subjected to your magic. What is it surrounded by?
Real demons.
A little bit more specific. This thing is.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm still reading.
You're still reading?
You know what? This is Rolim casting it, and he's not really good at being intimidating, like without cause, which is kind of what this feels like. So I feel like it's gonna be a shitty version of like a high school drama where like you're in the hallway and like there's just a whole bunch of like real demons making fun of you for being a shit half demon.
All right. So picture some kind of demon academy hallway where he is being bullied by, freaking pit fiends and stuff. Maybe shoved into a storage cubby or something. The Cambion is, you can tell it's really more magic than anything that's forcing him to be like terrified of this particular situation. But he's kind of paralyzed from this particular situation, is cowering in a way from the magic of your spell. You see? That wasn't so hard, was it?
I feel like he's gonna kind of like, it's actually a lot harder than I thought.
You really need to work on that dark side of yours.
Do I?
Oh, like, I'm not going to tell you how to conduct your business, but you're going to a place where you might not, and those you love might not come out of. So harden yourself would be my advice. However, your spell will last as it normally does here. The range can obviously be negated. The creature needs to be alive in order for you to do this. This is an exceptional place. Time does not exist here, therefore you can hit all the ancestors. And then he kind of spins the carousel that you have. And as he does, you see a lot of them start going dark the whole kind of way around. Those that are dead will show up like that. Those that are still alive will remain their blood color. You can cast spells on certain people of lineage within reason, given this spell and the proper amount of time. This is not one that requires concentration. It will simply last for a bit, and you can dismiss it whenever you want.
Oh, shit.
But it is a potent tool for both knowledge, perhaps a bit of harassment. I will make note that non-psychic damage will not apply, so don't think about being clever and throwing fireballs at people who aren't in range. It would have to be some kind of mental attack.
Good thing he used mental prison.
Exactly. Your choice in spell was appropriate. Your illusion could perhaps use some work, but the magic is strong enough to carry it through. Well done. The spell you have gotten after a week, I believe, is... Where did I have it? Bloodline. So basically, using a small amount of blood, the Hemomancer can magically extract the history of an owner's lineage. And you can ask it up to 5 questions. The questions have to be based off of whatever they would, again, reasonably know. So,
right.
If it's like, hey, who was the king's mistress or something? It's like, yeah, you probably don't know. Unless, you're hanging out with the king. So,
does it have the same limitations as like the Zone of Truth, where like they can choose to be their shitty self?
This overrides
dead,
it.
I guess.
They have to speak the truth when you ask them a question.
Oh shit! All
They
right.
might be sassy to you, and you might have to have
Yeah.
like a thing about it. But yeah, essentially, if it lands, then they have to tell the truth. The last thing is that you can obviously the quality of the answers can degrade, however. So let's say you find some poor guy who's been dead for a week, but happens to be in like a humid cave, so not all his blood dried or whatever. Um, you could do it, but because the blood is weak, the power is weak. So you can't ask them like, "What's the geopolitical situation of Waterdeep?" Right? They're going to be like, "Ports," like they're not going to give you anything,
Gotcha.
of depth. So if it's better if they're alive. If not, recently dead is probably the next best thing. And again, answers deteriorate over time. And then, of course, it counts as a bonus action, and it lasts up to 10 minutes when you cast it. So you can cast another spell on a target from there. Only one, though. You can't go like through the cast spell, like spamming
Oh shit.
illusion spells on people. But you can pick one out of that group and cast a spell on it. I'll let you know if it's pliable or not. But for the most part, things that are like this, like illusion spells, those work. Divination spells typically work. Enchantment, I don't know why you'd want to cast it, but you could. That could work as well. So
You better give me the information. I'm gonna make your ancestor stronger.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, enchantment is very
I know.
gross. You get out of here, Foos. Nobody's asking you. Anywho,
What?
that is that particular portion of it. Now that you've gone to this particular phase, are you ready for the next?
I guess so. But he's just kind of like, gotta work on being mean, I guess. I never thought that would be a life goal of mine.
Indeed.
But yes, he's ready.
He walks over to one of the kings, holds his hand out, and it's one of the male warrior ones with the crazy looking jaguar mask, and like he's huge. You can tell he's this boy cracks skulls for a living, but kind of holds his hand out, and you watch as the king's hand comes off the armrest, and this kind of ball of darkness begins to float out of it, and it's super black in the middle, and around the edges there's a bit of like a red tinge to it as it floats down towards Koya's hand. Kind of holds it for a bit. You've learned to absorb knowledge. You've learned to smell and utilize the power of blood. But you need to learn. I love your dog. If you want to take a break, go for it, man. I'm not gonna. Yeah, yep.
She's fine.
Okay.
You already had a treat. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Uh-huh. Hi.
You will need to be able to suppress, extract, and in some instances overwhelm with your will alone darker powers that may try to infest their way into you. And with that shadow in his hand, he throws it on the floor, and you watch as the former king begins to manifest into what looks like one of his former selves. A little bit younger, maybe not quite as big, but still that same jaguar mask on him. He's got like pauldrons made out of what looks like leather and stone with like feathers coming off of them, a wooden sword with obsidian smashed into the edges of it, and he's just kind of standing there menacingly. I think a little more practical learning is involved. Let me know when you're ready.
I feel like he initially started to do a defensive stance, but given the advice of needing to impose himself and trying to be darker, I guess. He'll attempt to pull some of the blood from the floor and like spin it in his hand or something like that, as in like using it as an offensive weapon, ready to strike.
Awesome. All right, give me roll initiative first and foremost,
Oh shit.
let's go from there.
I don't have a token to click on.
Just roll a
Okay,
d20
it's down
plus
there.
your thing. Yeah, we're just.
I got it. I found one. There you go. Oh shit.
Later, St. George. I'm thinking I'm saying your name right. Maybe I'm not. I'm sorry
the
if I'm
camera's
not.
over here. See ya. Have a good night. I hope you enjoyed the darkness. This is Dennis' darkest campaign.
Very diplomatically put. All right. The creature begins to move on its own, but you are faster. You have the option to go first. Give me. How do you want to proceed?
Oh Jesus. What? I gotta read through some of the stuff. I guess I'll start off with the strong Grim Terror, perhaps.
Okay. So we're gonna go with the Grim Terror.
He's trying to tell him who's in charge, and then, well, I mean, not who's in charge, but like, bitch, I ain't bowing down to you. Let's do this.
All right, what is your spell save DC?
Boo.
This is Wisdom.
22.
Oh boy. All right, I got to roll pretty much a 20. Nope.
Ooh.
All right, so he fails. Roll me the 3d10. Plus whatever bonus you get from your staff if you have one.
I don't think he's rocking the staff right now. What? No, he is. The whoop loop.
I thought he was. I could be wrong.
Oh, I didn't decide what I was taking off. That's right. Shit. What does that bring that down to? Okay, Little Rat Connie. The dogs are playing behind me now. I feel like after reading the tome, he'll... No, because yeah, he'll unattune to the headband for now. So he'll have the Ring of Mind shielding. No, he took off the Ring of Protection. That's right. Never mind. He's good. He's good. I forgot he took that off. All right, we good. You said 3d10 plus Boop Loop, which is, I think, 2 on its own.
Okay. I believe so as well.
Slash roll.
All right, so 11 points of damage.
Whopping 11. 33 is out of to get.
This kind of huge warrior starts like kind of cowering and moving aside and holds his head for a moment with his free hand and is definitely, like, you can tell he wants to get closer to you, but is being magically compelled away. I believe his next turn he has to just move away from you, right?
While the creature's friend is incapacitated and can't move, all attacks against it have advantage.
There you go. So it is incapacitated. Oh yeah, it is 5th level spell. That makes sense.
Is this a like? Is this just one of those like an all-out fight, or is it just one of those like impression of will type thing, or like what's the general like? What are the lay of the rules here?
He did not give you any. He just asked you if you were ready.
Oh shit. Like he'll use a bonus action to be like, this was supposed to be in fight, right?
You're not here to spar. And neither is he. That sword is real. Or at least it'll feel real to you.
Oh. So that means more to like take him out, not like we're gonna pause once below. Like this is.
I mean, the general vibe of the Nexels is they don't fuck around. Like, this is they do live drills. Everything's at full speed. Like, if you live, great. If not, next. You know, it's they didn't have an overly high value of life as a civilization.
Right. I just want to make sure, like, he's getting the impression like this is a fight to the death, not a like we're gonna talk
Correct.
this out. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. All right. Just want to make sure. I'm trying. I'm not trying to kill myself.
No, I get it. You're trying to find the rules. I respect that.
You gave me so many new things to do, and I got to do it. Like the clot thing
Analysis
did something.
paralysis wins.
You didn't even give me time to analyze.
I did not.
I almost said analysis.
You didn't give me time to analysis, Dennis.
And I assume the blood pool is rather open since there's blood everywhere.
Correct.
Perfect.
Right.
Does this feel like the final test?
Give me an insight real quick.
12 plus 2, 14.
Nope.
No,
Doesn't
doesn't
feel like it.
All right.
You could see past the darkness. There's another set of stairs behind where you are.
Oh shit. All right. So he won't burn that. He'll go ahead and try and hold on to his face elf and cast as a bonus action. Wait, can he cast blood magic and regular spells? Does that still apply? Or is it like blood magic spell and cantrip?
You have no idea.
All right, he'll give it a shot then. I think it's this one. Is this one? Yeah. Boop.
All right, so you're casting Guardian of Nature.
And he'll go with the Great Tree one, which is the 10 temporary hit points and con/dex stuff.
I remember this one.
Yeah. If he can do it, he's gonna try to do it.
Yep, you got it. That's actually, yeah. Roll me an Arcana check.
Arcanatus. No, we're not, Foos. It's theater of the mind.
Nope.
I asked him that to begin with. I told him to get ready. You said Arcana.
Fun fact: the last time Homie G Willikers used this, he ran right into a wall. It was great. The wall that he declared he was going to take cover behind. Oh god, that was so good. This is also after he brained himself with his own Eldritch Blast.
This is true.
Oh god, that's one of my. If I could have some snippets animated, that would definitely be in the top 5. Anywho, yes, okay. So you are able. There is a bit of resistance here. It's tough to say why. You feel when you cast the blood magic thing, and you're thinking maybe it's because you were in this particular situation, but maybe the weave isn't as strong here. It clearly does exist, but you felt when you cast it, you had to pull a little bit harder to get that out.
Oh shit!
But you definitely have your bonus action spell off. You have an action.
His action was the Grim Terror. Once he gets another one.
Oh, I thought that was the end of your turn. I'm so used to Wizard where it's like you cast a spell, that's the end of your life. Okay, so that would be the second. So this is another leveled spell, and the only time you could do that is if you were casting the blood one.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, I thought you were trying to pull like multiple blood spells out because you were in the blood spell arena. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that one until your next turn, but you have it because he's frightened anyway. So it's like he can't do anything on his neck. He's incapacitated. So,
okay.
And frightened, so he can't even talk shit. He's just scared.
Well, then shit. In that case, no, he'll do that because he needs the protection.
Okay.
He needs to be ready. All right.
He needs the protection.
That's his bonus action. His actual action is going to be used to. I don't think he has a actual like Oh wait, he can Eldritch Blast. Maybe. Hopefully. He'll try to Eldritch
Roll.
Blast.
Okay, go for it.
All attacks have advantage. Take that.
Hmm.
He gets 3 of them bitches. Oh, that's a crit.
Okay. Obviously the 25 and the 35 both hit. Roll me some damage.
Do you want me to click on the crit one or no? We don't have a
Yeah,
dubs for a card.
yeah, we don't. Well, just what was my rule?
I don't
It's
know.
max. It's max damage
I'm
on
gonna
the
click and see what
rolls.
happens. There you go.
Oh no! All right.
Jesus.
So my rule for natural 20s is going to be max damage for the first die roll. Then you just roll the second. So
Okay.
it would be
So
12 plus whatever you roll on top of
I rolled a
whatever
4.
the d10. Yeah. So 16 altogether. I hate it. Like when you get a crit and it's like less than a normal shot. Like why? A crit should always be more damage than a normal one, even if it's high. Anywho, uh, your Eldritch Blast, your first one kind of connects. Second one, maybe you're just too excited, a little off to the left, skitters off one of the statues in the background. But your third one, you zero in, hit him dead in the face, and you watch his head just snap back with the force of that particular blast. Yeah, you know that you've done a decent amount of damage there. I'm going to have him roll to see if he can get out of this, which I don't think he can because I roll like Dookie. Yep, there it is.
Oh shit. He's still
He
frightened?
he's frightened. He's struggling to try to get out of it. But yeah, that they have to make a wisdom save at the end of the turn to see if they
Oh
get out. So
shit.
it is stuck there. Your next turn, sir.
Oh, wait a sec. So Grim Terror is concentration, right?
Correct.
He didn't do the Guardian Nature because that's also concentration, and he would have had to have maintained that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good catch.
I'm juggling and I'm learning. All right, that's undone. That's back to normal. Cool.
5e casters.
Um,
Concentration. Get used to it.
Concentratio. Um,
Did you say concentration?
Concentratio.
I see.
I don't know that. Yeah, he doesn't have many beat 'em ups fucking skills.
He doesn't have
Um,
beautiful. So
he
improvise,
does.
man. What you
Uh, does it up a higher cast? Yeah, I guess he'll. No, I'll stay on the Eldritch Blast. There's more to go.
Okay. So
I'll
you're gonna hit
move
him with
it.
some Eldritch Blast. Give me some rolls.
Yeah, and he's like moving around and like fucking hitting him from each side and trying to like make creepy noises while he's doing it.
All of those hit. Give me some damage.
Bam. Going up.
All right, 3 more shots. Dude, each kind of hit him multiple times. You watch as every time you hit him, some more of that like parts of him begin to kind of ebb away as like you realize he's not like a full-blooded construct, obviously, but you're watching some of him kind of like break off with each shot. Let's see if I can actually roll again.
Booga booga booga.
Who's a boogie?
Foozle's asking what Roland thinks creepy noises are. There it is.
Yep.
Oh shit.
That's another fail. I'm gonna say one more turn. Give me what you got.
He'll kind of like doing the Eldritch Blast, so he'll kind of have a epiphany on the last one, like, I'm here to learn. I already know how to do that. So this time he'll try and throw out a Carnage Blast.
Excellent.
Um,
Let me pull that up.
it is choose one creature. Here, I'll paste it.
I got it.
Boop.
You are using it from the skull. Yep. Okay, so con saving throw. Yours was a D22. Now listen. No, anyway. Yep, failed that too. Give me give the damage.
More 3d10. Yeah. Oh, I thought this would be. There it is. Boop. 3d10 plus 2. Bam. All right.
Awesome.
Slightly better.
The damage here as that it's called the necrotic damage seeps in, the blood magic kind of flares there. The room turns a brighter series of like section of red as it begins to etch inside, and you watch like as you can see the veins in the creature start to pulse with this kind of dark red light as it starts to kind of writhe in agony. From your arcane perspective, you could tell that blood spells do more damage here.
Oh shit.
But here, Koya, good. What else do you have?
I don't know because I only have what's on this page.
Well, the newer ones you have only work on undead, so it doesn't particularly work. But you do have a few. I mean, unless you put a burn spell slot on something silly, but because it is you, I have to ask. Where is? Oh my goodness!
I just see Carnage Splash, Blood Ball, Blood Ball, Hemorrhage, Grim Terror, Hemokinesis, Blood Reading, and Spell Clot.
What does Spell Clot do?
He doesn't want to use that yet because we don't. You said there's more stairs.
Okay, all right, sounds good. I'll roll for argument's sake, but we all know how this is gonna go.
You don't know, Dennis.
I do.
Oh no.
He stays stunned.
Actually, you said he has a sword, right?
He does.
What better way to paralyze and be more terroring than to? He's gonna try and use I guess the hemokinesis to pull the sword to him.
All right.
I don't know what you need from that.
Roll me your spell modifier. So your charisma plus your whatever bonuses you have.
Oh, that wasn't supposed to be advantage, but that was a 23 charisma.
Excellent. You were able to
yeah.
weave the blood around his sword and begin to yank it from his hand. I'll have him roll a strength save to see at disadvantage because he's obviously shook. Oh my goodness. Please be nice.
I want to root for you, but you're trying to kill my character, so I don't want to root for you.
I'm just gonna roll his voice.
Oh, that's an ooh.
Who's the greatest, baby? Who is the lowest roller? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the lowest roller of them all?
But then you rolled a 19.
Yeah, but I got some little fucking natural one. Anywho, yeah, that sword comes flying out of his hand. The blood's kind of lubricating the process with it just sliding out despite him not wanting it to go. But it is
his hand up to grab it.
Okay.
Kind of pull it back around.
I'm going to ask you to give me a strength check.
Oh boy.
Because this is a very heavy sword. This is a big dude.
No advantage. Up to 9
Okay.
plus 2.
Yep. You have your arm up. You're like, aha! You grab it, and then immediately your arm goes down to the ground. I could say if you want, you could use your bonus action to have the hemokinesis, like have you save face because you're still controlling the sword with it. But your natural strength isn't enough to keep it aloft over your head.
I kind of want to. I'm gonna give a performance check to see how well he hides it, but I want him to like he'll use a bonus action to kind of like try and sweep like as it's falling down to like make it seem like he'll have that moment of like, oh fuck, this is everything I thought, and like trying to turn it into a bing, like fuck you. Ah! But I'm gonna preface that on his performance roll. All right.
You with the performance roll of that, yeah, you're able to do exactly that. Kind of hide the fact that it's heavier than you expected. And as you disarm this once great warrior, you watch as Koya is kind of looking at you, looking at that, and he begins to kind of summon the black ball into his hand. And you watch as the terrified, paralyzed entity begins to get sucked in. But when he gets sucked into it, it's like he gets like funneled in at like an unnatural angle, kind of like liquid is draining into something. Or as someone who is into sci-fi as much as I am, when like you watch the light of a star get sucked into a black hole, you see how like it tapers to a fine point. That's as what you see as it gets sucked into that orb, which he then kind of floats back up to the entity. Well done. You are still using a good combination of your old and new magic. I like it. But you show an affinity for it, and you're still clever, which is what I liked about you first and foremost. I'm going to lead you downstairs. And we're going to learn one more thing. And you're going to face an adversary who has done great harm to you in the past.
I feel like he just has a PTSD glance.
I don't know what it is. It is a manifestation of your mind. And, in some cases, your body. So I cannot warn you as to what you'll face, but we've all faced things that have not been kind to us in the past, we'll say. Real or imagined.
Yeah.
Those with a tie to hemo magic in some way will often appear, or those with ties to similar powers are more prevalent. But if you need a moment to rest before we go, you have it.
I think he really only used yeah, he's only used one spell. He's good. He's
All right. Okay.
he's just gonna kind of steal himself. I don't know what you have in store for him, but it's probably gonna be the version of him that would have went with Dragathan.
Oh, you're gonna roll for it, my man.
Oh boy. Yep.
This is like a nightmare. You don't know what's gonna show up. Just whatever your kooky brain is up to.
Yep. He'll try and prepare himself as best he can, and like in the middle of it, he'll just kind of like, fuck it, let's go. Did the sword stay?
The sword's still in your hand. You still have it. So's your dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Nikita gets advantage. Nikita gets inspiration. So we'll say the next time you're playing and she starts barking,
shake.
If it's applicable to roll, we'll roll.
She does not like that Ben's not home. She's like, what the fuck? Nobody's paying attention to me. Yeah. So he's all right. Let's do this.
All right.
The final countdown.
Final countdown. The last spell I will teach you, but certainly not the last in this particular skill set. It's a bit simpler. Well, I'll teach you two spells. And he comes down, and you go down to the... You come down, and you notice immediately that the floor is in a giant square, probably about 80 feet by 80 feet. On the tips of on the corner of each square are pillars that kind of go up at an angle, kind of inferring that you're at like the balcony of a upside down pyramid, because it also tapers off towards the bottom as you walk on out to it. It looks like you're above Mastika, and you know this specifically because you've been here before. You've been on the back of a dragon. You've seen what this looks like from an aerial view, but you don't remember the structure being there. Certainly not to this size, and not something that you would have, missed. But as you walk onto the platform and kind of look at the open air, there's still, if in those pillars that are suspending or like holding this structure up, there's blood channels that come down and through and weaving its way through the floor. Don't get distracted by the. Your dog is. I can't do it. It's too much.
She's been going to town this entire time.
It's amazing. You can tell she's like, oh. Such a drama queen. I love it. Just like sits down out of frustration.
Oh.
I feel you.
That's why it looks goofy. Thanks, Foos. I had to turn off my filter. That's why I was trying to give the Skeeter cam, but she ran away. Well, she's laying down now. All right, sorry. Upside down pyramid, Mestika. Familiar with it? This is different. Ultimate battle.
Yep.
I already won. Good job, me. All right, cool. What's next?
With that, you watch as he again pulls his hand up, and kind of actually the same man that you saw before with chains is now being pulled from the floor. And it's really weird. Like, you're watching him getting pulled through stone, and he's still kind of struggling against the stone. There's a more efficient form of extraction. It's a little brutal, but when necessary, we use it. And you watch as he kind of reaches his hand out and just like, it feels like he actually physically grabs something. Like, you see his hand like wrap around what's almost feels like something tangible, and he begins to just pull. And out of every orifice in this poor man's face, just blood just starts getting just yanked out. And it's not in like splashes or anything. It's like in almost columns of blood that start to kind of magically weave their way out as you watch as his body starts to become desiccated from being exsanguinated pretty much right in front of your face. And after probably about a good 10 seconds, he has, probably a full 9 pints of blood just floating in front of him. Take some practice, but you're going to need this since you're planning to use blood as your form of empowerment. You've got to reach down a little bit further. You've got to tap into the hunger to truly get everything out. And as he's saying that, you notice the poor man who was chained is just literally like a fucking raisin. Like, there is nothing left in him. He's just desiccated. But this is not for me to simply show. And he begins to forcibly push it back into this poor man. And he's starts like gyrating, eyes rolling to the back of his head. It looks like he's going through a pretty nasty spasm as more and more blood comes back until you watch his skin kind of reflexively come back to life, as he is no longer devoid of his bodily fluids.
Does that count as healing? Roland didn't ask that. Flandy asked that.
I mean, if you find a perfectly desiccated corpse and happen to have 9 pints of blood and the guy recently died, you can roll for it. It should be fine.
No ill effects. No. Oh,
that's why it's magic, baby. It's not like real life where you're just giving him a blood transfusion. That's boring.
Foos, your brother's out of control with this darkness. Also, Foos wants you to read the damn chat.
I'm gonna read chat. Okay, I'm trying to. Very animated script. Thank you. Maybe a bunch of dead things. Oh, okay. Yeah, the blood is being magically sustained. Micro. I imagine that's what you're talking about. Yeah, clearly. Otherwise, I try to also include. You weren't here for the beginning part, but even when they move the blood around, it's not, because blood is kind of nasty. Like when you move it on stone, it gets stuck in there. You got to wash it out. It's nasty. It's very much magically manipulated and sustained blood. In addition to that, they're in a timeless realm. So theoretically speaking, it can't even clot even if you wanted to, because there's no time essentially passing from like a physical perspective. But it's primarily magic. What was I saying? Oh, it's time for
You're
you
saying
to
I won.
exanguinate a human being. So I need you to roll me your casting modifier. One more time. Boggle, because I had a very active childhood and I bled on a few stones myself. Ooh.
Appropriate.
You begin to try, and you're having a hard time, and you're trying to tap into the hunger, and you're just not getting there. Roll me a Constitution save.
Oh no. Come on, don't fail.
Excellent. You felt part of your life force being substituted for the power you could not control, and saved yourself from your second day's death saving throw.
I feel like with that, kind of similar to his first few failures, he's now like he has an issue initiating it without cause, which is almost what it feels like every time so far. But feeling the brink of death and feeling the dread of failure and the amount of negativity that means for him, like he's not coming back. He ain't gonna be able to fix shit. I feel like he's gonna channel that like fight or flight and try and channel on the fight side and just release and put everything into trying again. Like
Okay.
immediately, like whiplash, like fail, like swoop and then fucking bah.
All right. Roll me your casting modifier one more time. Very nice.
Does he get fight or flight advantage?
You'll see.
Oh boy. Oh, okay. Whew.
Doesn't need it. With that, you were able to successfully begin to suck all the blood out of this poor man a second time as he starts to scream, and eventually it turns into gurgles and then nothing, as it's just you are now holding just like rivers of blood that are now again coalescing into a sphere in front of you with the full.
Imagine as he's doing that, it's just like he's doing that. Like if he could sweat, he's sweating. Like if he let out a feral like growl as he was doing that, of just anguish and
Good.
just
That's exactly what you need. Well done. Return it at your leisure if you want, but I have another lesson for you.
He's just kind of like the energy that he's holding on to, and just the all the emotions right now. He's gonna try and just throw it back in the hopes like with like the maybe he'll be all right, but like just get rid of it type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of disgust and launching it back at him. Give me another saving throw. No, saving throw. Give me another charisma roll.
Oh.
Oh no.
That's a dirty 15.
Give me roll me another Constitution save.
Oh no, come on.
Okay. Doesn't saved you. You passed.
Okay.
Again,
yes,
you
I
feel
have one death save. Foos, get the fuck out of here.
You feel your life essence again almost get pulled in again, and you're able to kind of you force yourself to stop that font of blood from ripping out of yourself and putting it back into that particular person. But you will need to try again, or you can just drop the spell and learn what Koya wants to teach you. But you are.
Yep, we're trying again.
No. That is exactly what you needed. To put it back in, so you are able to kind of forcibly re-enter this, and again, same poor guy is shivered and shaken and eyes are rolling, and it's like a good 10 seconds to get it all back in there, but he's back in there now, shivering in his chains, just miserable and kind of looks at you with like a form of hatred and there's fear there now in those eyes, but he's not in a good way. But with that, Koya just kind of waves his hand for a moment, like to ignore him for a minute. Actually, don't.
I was gonna say he's gonna try and do a quick blood reading, and he wants to know his name.
Okay. Roll me that D20. This one's not deathly, like you're not gonna worry. You're not gonna die if you fuck this up, but just to see how well you get this out.
D20 or charisma?
Charisma, please. Let's see what you got there.
Another dirty 17.
Awesome. Kid is going to destroy me on this because I'm pretty sure he told me how to pronounce this, but I'm going to butcher that shit anyway because I'm Netters. But his name is Coyotl. You can try spelling it as per tradition, but I will give you the spelling.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by my sister being mean to me.
She is very mean.
Can you say that one more time?
Coyotl.
I think I put too many U's in there.
Too many U's. That is how it's spelled.
Oh, it is a damn it, fucking hard C's and fucking Q's and shit.
Yep, yeah, dude, I can never. I get it, man. It's a tough language. So anywho, you are able to figure out his name from that.
Once.
Coyote, exactly. Boggle nailed it. The last lesson I will teach you. Good in a pinch, quick. Somewhat malevolent, but it's not we're not here to be nice. You watch as he kind of claps his hands together for a bit and kind of rubs them in an increasing frequency as if to cause a friction burn within himself. But after a few seconds, spreads his hands out towards the man, and you watch him just start to scream as, like, you see again through his vascular system, we see it light up, and it's just in absolute agony as he is like writhing in here, and again, light coming from his body. I have made his blood boil. It's very unpleasant, as you can imagine. Once he's done screaming, give it a try. You need to feel the blood in there. You need to, however you imagine, increasing the temperature to a point where it causes that effect. See it in your mind, then make it real. You should be able to feel it through now. And if pity is...
He's kind of doing just that, where he's just like, how am I going to recover from this?
If pity is creeping into your mind, I can show you more of the horrors he's done, or maybe give you a snippet of what's happening in that city of warlocks, should your fortitude need reaffirming.
Ooh, what would that be?
Coyote Ugly already has it.
I'm gonna give him a Constitution check to see if he's gonna stomach it on his own, or if he wants that like placebo of kind of feeling better because there's something bad that he needs to do it for. Does that make sense?
I hear you.
I'm gonna give it a 15. If it's above a 15, then he'll do it on its own. If it's below a 15 or lower, he'll need the help.
Understood.
There you go, Foos. There's that 4.
Is that 4?
Well, sheepishly and kind of what's the word? Like disgracedly, I guess. I can't think of the word right now, but he'll request to see the City of Warlocks.
Indeed. Koya grabs some of the blood that's on the ground and spreads it out again into that film that you saw before. And with another wave of his hand, you watch as the red kind of falls away, and you now see this kind of gothic city with spires and flying buttresses and pretty decent walls with crenellations on the side. It's not the. It is by no means Waterdeep. It is not the City of Wonders. It is not of that size. You'd say probably a quarter of it, but it is way more. Has a lot more altitude towards it. There's a lot. Most of the buildings there are at least 2 stories. He directs your attention to what looks like the city square, and you see dozens, maybe hundreds of what looks like refugees, poorly dressed, feet are caked in dirt, men, women, children, ages, the whole range. And in the center of them, actually, I don't know if you ever saw this one, but there is a skeletal figure in robes, probably about 9 feet tall, motioning for more as there is a beam of this kind of bluish, almost aqua light that goes straight up into the sky. And one of the, what looks like a knight of some kind of corruption with like a skull kind of faceplate and dark armor and a black blade, points it at one of the closest of these refugees as one is shoved from behind by a lesser guard and kind of grabbed forcefully and thrown into the beam, and you watch as his body just gets incinerated at that moment. And for a brief instant, you see its soul leave, animated by this light. And you watch as it tries to crawl away from the light. It's trying to get away, and it just gets sucked up and shot into the sky. Koya kind of turns your attention towards what's in the sky, and it looks like there's an apparatus being built. It is what looks like almost like a gantry of pathways made out of stone. It's tough to tell because there's so much sand and silt there, but you see echoes of red lightning just arcing all over the place, and the shadow of a very familiar draconid / human form in the midst of it. And as that soul gets sucked up into him, another brick begins to kind of form in that gantry as it is apparently being fed and created by souls of what you can only presume is the innocent.
Thank you for that lovely dark scene.
You wanted it, I gave it to you.
I feel like Rolim is just screaming in agony of like just picturing that dude. He's wishing that these two are connected somehow, and I don't know if he can, but if he could try and cast Bloodline, and see if he can't
cast Bloodline, sure.
If he can't make a connection with whoever this dude is here with that thing over there, or at least he's reaching because he wants to fuck them both up.
So you're trying to make a bloodline connection between Coyotl and who was the other person ultimately?
Any of the evildoers in fucking the City of Warlocks.
Okay. So it's gonna be tough because one of them had no like face. So because he was a lich and was clearly like skeletal. The other guy had a helmet on. So trying to see. Give me an in check.
Oh boy.
So the Doom of Maztica in my campaign happened at least a couple of thousand years ago. It's been a while. You're also kind of getting the feeling that when the Nexels hunted this guy down, he's kind of young for what he is. He's not an old man at all. It's most likely he didn't exist in that space long enough to have, children and or ancestors for you to pull from.
Fair enough. I feel like then with that he'll want to start doing it, and then just kind of like I feel like he'll start it and like pull maybe one up, and then kind of snap out of it, and then just picture uh the fucking Dark Knight there as the dude that he needs to boil blood, and that he's gonna use that to channel his anger.
All right. Give me that roll at advantage due to that very cool description.
Oh boy.
Man. Roll me another con save.
God damn it. Rules are cool, Dennis. Rules are cool.
I hear you.
Take that.
Oh, you were passing every one of these.
Not every one of them.
Maybe a little too much emotion this time, as you that cut a little close. You're welcome to try again.
I think feeling that he'll kind of relax or try to relax. Get out of here, Foos. I ain't dying tonight, damn it. He'll try to calm himself and maybe realize that maybe emotion isn't fully the right answer. And after a few minutes of just trying to sort shit out, he'll close his eyes and feel the blood, or try to feel the blood on it, and find that pulse. And he'll try to whisper to the blood and be like, boil. Almost as if he's like commanding.
All right, man. Give me a roll. Let's see. That's dope. I love it.
Stop trying to make me think of creative ways to be dark, Dennis.
Look, man, it's not like you got on the short bus to Happy Land, man. This was... You know who you left with. You know where you were going. Don't complain because you knew this is where you're at.
It's not my fault. My character would do it.
It's not mine either.
Yes, it is. You put the options on the table.
With that final, perhaps whisper and calming of yourself, you were able to, oh man, shunt all of that back in there. And with that, the blood in this creature, in this poor man, Coyotl, whose name you now know, begins to boil, and he screams. And again, like previously before, through all his vascular system that you could actually see, it starts glowing. You can see steam begin to kind of come off his body as whatever liquid on his skin is also beginning to boil off, as he is just in utter agony for these short few seconds. But the spell is mercifully one that you can cut short, should you so choose. Otherwise, he continues to boil and scream.
He cuts it.
It drops and he slinks against the chains, and that's the only thing currently holding him up. As you still see some of that residual steam come off of his unnaturally heated body. I know that was a struggle, and I salute you for going to places that most wouldn't. Do you need a moment before you face what you fear?
I feel like because of the way that he had to calm himself to enact that, he's just gonna rather coldly just, I'm ready.
Did you for a moment? So be it. He kind of waves his hand over you, and you watch as the kind of the view, the beautiful view you have around you begins to kind of darken, and there's this kind of smoke, this roiling black, almost like a cloud smoke begins to kind of move in a clockwise fashion around you, and you're kind of left in darkness for a bit. Roll me a D100.
God damn it. You mean a 33? You want me to roll you a 33?
Yes, please.
Ah!
Okay.
Just take some bitching.
It does.
Whoo! I've rolled what? 5d100s tonight. The total equals what? Maybe 150?
I mean, something like that. In the smoke, you hear footsteps. Footsteps of sounds like boots, high, like heeled boots. Maybe a spur, a sword unsheathing slowly. So we meet again, friends. This time without your cadre of allies.
Splad.
And you watch as
Oh, shit.
an apparition of Vlad Vanzerovich comes through the smoke. Sliver in his hand, a smile on his face. You're a bit tall for me, but I'm ready to dance. Roll me initiative.
I feel like he's like, damn, I wish I would have practiced with this sword a little more.
Oh, God. I forgot what this initiative was. Oh, man, why do I roll Dookie all the time? I'm so bad at freaking rolling not like ass. Do you know how hard it is to maintain a narrative and you fucking roll like shit? All right. Anyway, despite having the drop on you, you have initiative. So please.
I feel like his initiative was him recognizing the voice and be like, "Aha!"
Yeah.
And is this arena full of blood too? Could he pull from that, or does it need to be at the skull?
You're still in the same area. There's just kind of this black smoke, which is creating an artificial ring around you and Strahd. And I'd say at this point, it's about 20 feet wide, or 20 feet in diameter.
But he can pull from that at will, almost?
You can pull from the blood, absolutely. There's no shortage of blood for you to pull from.
All right. 48. Which one of these hit harder?
Also, I'm not a victim because I'm a victim in Foozca's campaign. Don't yell at me. See what poor Valen goes through.
I'm pretty sure they said you're the one victim blaming. Where's this blood boiling? How many D10s does that do?
You're gonna make his blood. You're gonna make the vampire's blood boil. Okay, interesting technique.
I'm considering it. I need the deets.
For what? Blood boil? Oh, hold up. Let me get it here. I was like, don't you have it? No, he doesn't. It does 64 plus 6 damage.
Oh, that okay.
Also, from a I'll just give this to you because I think Rolim is more knowledgeable in this sense than you are. Yeah, undead don't really give a shit about blood. Like he's not. That's not going to be effective on. Strahd's a vampire. You know that.
Everybody likes blood. If I boil the blood he's eating, then I boil his stomach. I don't know.
Oh my god! How does that work? Do they digest it, or is it just like a? Oh
magically
man.
Done.
I need somebody to look that up. Can somebody look up how vampires in D&D feed? Is it like an actual feeding, or is it? I need to know.
Oh no! While that's happening, he's gonna do his lo and behold, he's gonna do a Carnage Blast. Then, can he upcast that at all?
Yes, absolutely.
Does it require his spell slots, or does it require more blood? How does that?
So it would be the same rules, right? So I'm going to say right now, immediately, you obviously have the blood in the Hemodome, and you have the blood that's around you. So if you wanted to upcast it, you would need to have enough blood on hand to do it, which you do in this particular case. But it would just go by levels. So let's say you cast it at 2, you want to cast it at 4. That's 4 pints of blood you gotta be throwing at it.
He's pulling up the big guns then. He's gonna try to pull as much blood as he can from any source that he can and throw that Carnage Blast.
Okay. It is a relatively new skill. I will say you're not entirely convinced you can harness all of this. So you can do that, but at a roll, or you can pull a safer amount, I would say like sub 7, and not have to roll.
We're rolling.
Do it.
We're rolling.
Charisma.
What charisma?
Yep.
Oh, fuck. That was an 18, and it rolled over. Damn it.
You know what I need, brother. Sorry.
No. I didn't know that was you can fucking.
I warned you. You keep passing these, though. Desna has saved you again. Oh, man. You better switch your worship when you get out of here. You were dead twice over at this point. Okay. Barely.
I assume that's his action.
Yeah. Roll me a 1d6. See how much you actually pulled out.
Boop. 6.
Holy shit. Okay. You're trying to control it. It's too much. Like, you're pulling as much as you can. And at one point, it's too much. It's flowing like just at a rate that you cannot control. But you were able to at least shunt yourself off from that circuit, that conduit, and are able to channel the majority of what you pulled at him. So that is upcasted at 6 to give me the damage, or just to roll for it. Let me see. You said Carnage.
It's damage. Yeah, Carnage Blast. So would that make it what? That's a level 2. So
it's a con saving throw, right?
Yes. I'm sorry. No, the pullout game is strong because he was able to make it and pulled out 6 levels instead of so what? That's so I add 4 d10, so that's what, 5 d10?
Yep. Okay, so barely as you launch this kind of magic necrotic attack against Strahd, whose blood becomes kind of this weird, thick, viscous, like pus almost within his veins, but he is indeed a vampire, and necrotic damage doesn't do as much as you were hoping, as he kind of shrugs it off and gives you a bit of a smile. That is your action. You still got bonus action and movement.
That's fine, because he's spell clotting and he's gonna fucking do the fear thing.
Okay. Go for it.
You gotta roll.
Oh. Well, this is where I break your heart. No, I don't. He's immune to fear, so...
That's what I thought. I thought so.
I
just wasn't sure if the blood would make it different.
Yeah, no, the spell goes off.
Burned. Yeah, so that's his action, bonus action, and for his movement, he's gonna stay put.
He's going to kind of walk up to you slowly, no quickness at it, and then at the last, probably 10 feet, lunge ahead of you in an attempt to attack you with Sliver. I assume a 34 and a 30 hit.
I'm sorry, I got 34 and a 30 absolutely both hit, unless I have some sort of blood defense.
I mean, I don't know if you have shields or anything like that.
Oh wait, he does no shield.
And if that would make the difference.
Where is shield? Shield. It's down here. Was it +5? Yeah, no. Both those hit.
Okay.
Goddamn.
That is the damage you take from the 2 sliver slashes as he stabs in and then slashes to the side before kind of pirouetting away from you in a very kind of elegant footwork dance.
Is any of that magic?
Is any of that magic? The necrotic is magic.
Does that get half for my magic resist?
Uh,
No, it's probably more spell
I
stuff.
don't
I'm just
think
giving
so.
you a
Yeah.
hard time. I got cheese where I can, all right?
Yep. And magic resistance. Where did you
58.
magic resistance? So Foos is ferocious. I don't know whose corner she's in, but she's swinging.
She's against none of his favorites. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop one of these bad boys on here. There you go, Foos. That's for you.
Yep. +1. He wears it with pride. That's why I love him.
Yeah. That's
good.
that
Lands
is,
flush. It's the Get the fuck out of here. All right. So Strahd, that is the end of his attack turn.
So let's see. The necrotic wasn't doing much. I imagine Blood Ball is also necrotic because it doesn't say.
Let me see.
Oh, wait, no. Creatures without blood are immune to the spell. This is bullshit. Now, how are you going to make a fake construct that's immune to all the shit you just taught me?
You rolled this. You rolled this. It's not on me.
You out of a D100, get the hell out of here.
I had a list of guys who whooped your ass in my campaign, and he was at the top.
There was 100 of them.
There's a lot, yeah.
High rolls are supposed to be good rolls. Now, get out of here.
Including that demon that stabbed you. He was on there too, but nope, you rolled 90, so here we go.
Well, he's undead, right?
Yes.
I don't know what it does, but we're gonna try that life infusion bullshit. This seems to be the perfect time to try and use that dark shit, so let's fucking do it.
Okay. That is a...
The Balar had to have been on there. Blah.
That is an intelligence save. Yeah, he was. I believe he was the 30 to 40 range.
Take that, Ninas. Don't get mad. You ain't killing me tonight. Get out of here.
I want you to feel this fight, motherfucker, man. I can't.
I
got
you know
one
how many
round.
times you made me roll? The statistics aren't on my side, but for some reason they kind of are. So get out of here. There's so much stress on Flandy right now. Please get out of here with that. Don't remind him of the shit like that. He doesn't even know.
In this case, Foozzy, no, because he's a construct. He's not the true version. Oh, man, that makes me so sad.
Happy you mean that your friend didn't die? Rude.
Okay. But, like, what? Oh. It's like you try to apply, as a fellow DM, it's like you try to apply pressure, and then just fucking, like, peanut butter comes out. You're just like, come on!
Look, you gave me a thing to kill that is resistant to 90% of the shit you literally just taught me.
Yep. Look, man, you rolled it. I tell you. I got a table. You had 9 other options. You had a 10% chance to get this, and a 90% chance not. Anywho, our bullshit aside, you now have physical body control over this construct. It will get to resist at the end because it is an intelligent creature, but you do have it for a round.
Pro tip: you could just add that resistance. Okay.
Yeah, but he was already resistant to fear and necrotic. Like, if I legit did that, it would be like impossible for him to win. Like, I gotta give him a chance. I just.
Can I make him hit himself for some shit?
Yeah.
Throw his sword. Is it technically a fucking heirloom if it's a construct?
Oh, you're trying to see if he can I mean,
I don't know. He's gonna make him. He gets 2 attacks, I guess. So one of them's gonna be to hit himself if that works, and then the other one's gonna be to like try and hit himself and whiff and like throw the fucking sword.
All right, so you're gonna have him throw it off the balcony, even if he could retain it. The thing is falling at, the rate of falling. So, and then the illusion would probably fade. God damn it! All right, he can attack on himself. I assume at advantage because he's not gonna try to. That's 7. That's a 23. That just hits, of course. Good job. Yep, we're doing well here. Dennis. You're really. Yep. Yeah, that's he takes half the necrotic damage, so that's 24. And then he's going to yeet the weapon off the thing. I'm not even gonna make him roll for that. I mean,
I'm sorry. No.
Why?
This is great.
This is yep. This is broken DM time. All right, so with that, we'll just say he stabs himself, takes damage, a decent amount actually, and then he's going to try to roll his save to get out. And he is now disarmed with his sword falling back to the earth.
Rude. He has nothing to do with this. All right, I know that. For his next turn, he's gonna. You said you wanted to dance. Let's have him dance.
What kind of dance is Strahd doing?
Whatever the most insulting dance is for a vampire. I don't know what that would be.
I don't.
A jig. He's doing a jig.
He's doing a jig. Okay. So the rest of his round, he's doing a jig. You catch a chuckle from Koya behind you somewhere. You kind of lost it to where he is with all the damn smoke everywhere, but yeah, you catch that.
I assume that's the action to make him do shit.
Yep, you still have your bonus action to movement.
Yeah. Bonus action is going to be to kind of prep this new sword that he has that's still here, and try and get himself ready to maybe swing it on the next round. He doesn't know yet.
Okay. Oh god.
Oh.
Are you seeing this? Are you guys seeing this? Anybody seeing this? You ever roll 3 saving throws on your boss and not break an 8 total on the rolls, on the dices?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
man.
so sorry,
What do you want to do on the?
Oh shit! Who's just rolled an 8 as well?
Yep.
Oh fuck!
Your turn, sir.
Oh, it's getting worse. Please stop.
Have you tried being better? I would just try being better. Good call, Joe. My head's not in the right space. I'm getting space. Let's go. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm in. Let's go. Be better.
For this
positive affirmation.
For this turn, he's gonna try and take however many swings. I imagine it's only just one big one with this new sword.
So it's a great sword that you can barely wield.
Yeah.
So
I imagine it'd be a disadvantage, but he's
absolutely. I'm almost triple disadvantaging you because you don't have proficiency. It's honestly to the point where there's no way you have great sword proficiency.
Yes, really simple weapons.
It's not a. Get the fuck out. Roll your damn. Yeah, give me your.
I don't. Is that?
Oh my god.
Is that just what? What is that? Is that just a flat D20?
Just add a great sword to your inventory. I'll give you the bonus and then roll it.
I'm sorry. Ooh, this is gonna bite me in the ass. It helps if I can spell right. Oh, it's all one word. All right, great sword. Oh, damn it! I'm gonna have to close that.
Great sword isn't 2 words?
No, it's considered one word. That's what fucked me up.
Oh man.
Poor notice.
Yep.
Disadvantage. And there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There's that one.
There, yeah. He's doing the jig, right? And you come with his great sword, you can barely and it's just like because you're like trying to, you're running at him, you got the sword. It's tough to get the timing down, especially when you can't lift the sword. So I'm gonna say by the time you get in the air, it's too late. Like you pass the window to hit him, and it's just boom. The onyx blade should have clanged against the floor, but the obsidian edge digs into the stone floor to your surprise, and is now kind of stuck. So it's going to take you I'd say at least a bonus action to try to wedge it out with a strength save, but it is wedged blade in to the ground right now.
Oh shit. Yeah, he's afraid that strap blade he grab it, so he's gonna try to pull it out and use whatever move he has to run with it. Dragging it if he has to.
Give me a strength check.
Check. Okay.
Check. Yeah, or strength. Yeah. Wait, it's not a save. Yeah, it's a strength check. You just
there's a 12 with that blessing of 2.
It's one of those situations where you're lucky you're weak, because you could have, if you were a stronger person, you could have really dug that bitch in there. But you're kind of on Team Noodle Arms. So it was really just the weight of the sword that did the work, which thankfully didn't put it in too far. So you're 14 with Desna, blessed be her name. You're able to pull that out barely. It's like, ding, it comes out, and you're able to kind of run with it. But time to that's action, movement, bonus action. I think that's it, right? Unless you wanted to.
Yeah. He cleared up a little bit, and he's like, all right. That wasn't a good try.
Let's see. Just be better, Dennis. Just be better. Okay. All right. It's working. A little positive affirmation. I'm getting there. Yeah, I got into the double digits finally. Thank you.
Oh shit! I just realized he still has Whoop Loop. I don't know if he can summon water into here. What else does he have? He has something else to do. I got summon Valen. Will that work?
What? He's gonna be just depressed.
No.
Why would you summon a necromancer to fight a vampire?
He never fucking learned sunlight like a dumb bitch. Shit.
Can you give me an in check real quick?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Well, sure.
So you have control of this lovely boy.
Uh-huh.
There's you're on a balcony that's open.
Wait, you mean to tell me I could just have him fucking walk off the edge?
I mean, there's nothing stopping you. Clearly, he can't break out of the damn spell. 4 rolls in.
That feels cheap.
I mean, it is. But
actually, you know what?
At this point, you're just toying with my poor boy here. He deserves better.
Yeah. He deserves Was radiant damage effective against him? Does he remember?
Yes, it was absolutely very effective.
All right. Fine. And he'll cast Guiding Bolt. It didn't give me the option to upcast. What the fuck? Oh wait, does that hit?
A 26 on a dancing vampire absolutely hits. Yep.
He's gonna upcast it to 7.
7th.
Because he can.
Okay. High level cast.
And where's it at?
succeed a wisdom saving throw against your spell DC or one of the creatures. Let's check the number rolled from your next attack. Start your next turn. Oh, okay. Said that is a wisdom. His wisdom, surprisingly, is not great.
You got this.
Now they're in my rolls, so here we are.
We're still in double-digit territory. You getting us?
I'm good. I'm killing it right
You're
now.
moving up. You went from a 10 to 11.
Yep. So he gets to subtract a d6 after he's done dancing, if he ever is. However, the damage you've done to him with that level 7 radiant ridiculousness is quite a bit, because he obviously is vulnerable to that damage. So it's effectively double against him as you hit, and just parts of him start kind of searing off as the light begins to. The radiant damage, or as I like to call it, the sparkly fire damage, does an incredible amount to this apparition of Strahd. But he's still up. And he's still dancing. So you got... That's action. Bonus action, I assume, for the diminishing function, maybe? And then, I don't even know if it is. I didn't read it fully. Because yeah, I can't do anything. So, all right. How long are you going to make me suffer?
At this point, he'll use his next turn since he still has control. And just look at him and be like, I own my own fears now. Run.
Are you gonna have him sprint? Is he gonna be doing the skip on the way, some hopscotch? Because I know
this is the like intimidating run. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
got it. Yeah, I just wanted to check because I know he's a clown. So, and with the control you have over his body, you're able to run him clean off this lovely balcony. And I don't know if you're going to follow him down, but it just, there's no sound, there's no screaming, nothing. It is just a silent kind of trip off. And I'd say about 20 seconds in, the smoke begins to dissipate from this area as Koya comes out. Never seen anybody do that before. But congratulations. This part of your training is complete. Should you wish to go down the other two paths, you are always welcome. Just need to contact me. The Hemodome will be more than enough to do so. But I imagine now you're eager to get back to your companions. Or you could stay here.
Hold on. Would he have to go through like the whole medley? Like, if he
he would
learn
just
one healing spell, for example.
You get the feeling that you'd have to like leave and come back, essentially.
Okay.
If there's an issue with the instance of this, you can only choose one per instance, essentially.
Okay. He'll kind of take a minute to look over everything that he's learned so far. I think this will work for now. Do you mind if I finish one last rest before I go?
Take all the time you need.
He's gonna take as much time as he needs to learn how to master this weapon. I'm kidding. Just do it, Caddis. This is the wrong sword for this, but I've seen Caddis do this.
Wrong sword by 4 times the size of Caddis's sword.
He does want to inspect that if he can. That'll kind of be it. He'll wrap that up with inspecting that and taking his rest to recoup, because I think we just finished a rest.
After a week of hanging out? Yeah, sure.
Well, like back normal time?
Yeah. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
You inspect the...
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say the only other thing you might ask is if he could top off the dome.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, it's
I
like
didn't know if
before.
there was some like
Yeah,
ceremonial shit that was like you cannot take the blood from here,
no,
you
don't
bitch.
don't even ask. Take what you need. This
Okay.
is this is a sanctuary for this magic. But you inspect the blade. The blade's pretty cool. It has a wooden base with again stone accents on it, with more of that kind of like the etchings on it. I don't know if you've ever seen the Nazca lines,
Yeah.
but that's kind of the style of like various animals, mostly predators, but it's got that kind of style going all the way up the blade. And unlike like the some of the more typical Mayan or Aztec ones, the shards of obsidian are huge. Like they're like probably 8-9 inches in length, and I'd say there's probably about 6 of them that kind of come up to an actual point. So you could run someone through with this,
Shit.
should you be able to. And obviously, it's clearly enchanted in some way because obsidian's sharp, but if you slam it against stone, it's just going to shatter, and that just cut into it. So, oh yeah, my bad. I thought you were just trying to. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's just go ahead and cast this bad boy, why don't we?
Yeah. Give me a second here. What the hell is it called? I didn't expect you to actually keep this.
I didn't expect to actually keep it either.
So give me a sec. Well, I think I had, when I was brainstorming it, I think I gave it a name.
The hemoglobin.
Oh, it's the vein splitter.
The descabinator.
The descabinator. No, it is the vein splitter. It is a +3 greatsword.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It has some other advantages, but I won't bore you with the details. I will add that to your sheet.
Too easy. If you wanted to practice with it for a little bit, like obviously not to like get advantage in it, but at least to be able to wield the damn thing and not like fuck up. Like, does he have a good idea of how long? Like, does that feel like it'd take months, years? Fucking.
It would take a while. First off, you'd probably need training. Second, the issue is you're like Koya's a caster. So no one's like here, like, if Kanasu was here, he might be able to help you with your footwork and how to like, do stuff with it. You could try to like get some basic swings in there and stuff, but I mean, you're talking like a significant amount of time, man. Like, it's,
Okay. I thought so. I just want to double check. He'll put that in the bag of holding for now.
Okay. Yeah, and it has no problem being there. Okay, so that is identify, and you're ready to go home, correct?
Yeah, cheesing a long rest, of course.
Of course, yeah. We got to get the maximum amount of cheese. With your rest and obviously
any books but that was done that last week. I don't know. Did he give any books? Any literature?
Kind of a sort. When you asked for books, Koya handed you basically a series of knots on a string.
Oh,
so
shit.
like a picture,
All right,
a horizontal string with vertical knots going down it. If you can make sense out of that, and perhaps you can in the future, but it's yours to keep.
All right. Since we're on the cheese train, does that count as writing?
Let me look up the actual definition of writing, and I'll let you know, because I'm not. So marks are signs that represent the utterances of a language. Yeah. Writing renders the language visible, whereas speech, so it counts. If you're looking at it from like the raw, it is a form of writing.
I feel like he's gonna flex a little bit when this obviously backplay a little bit, but flex a little bit and start reading like the first bit of it. Oh, okay, yeah. Like it's no big deal.
He looks at you for a moment. Magical, right? That language has been dead for...
He's gonna give like a shy blush, like, yeah.
Nothing to be ashamed of. Never hide your power. Well, unless it's advantageous to you.
You wouldn't happen to know what they speak on Athos, would you?
Some version of common, maybe? It never came up in our travels.
Fair enough. That's about probably the rest of what he would want to accomplish, I think.
One last thing. I believe Kia wanted to see your friend, the pale one.
You feel me?
That's it. If she could perform again, that would, I believe the words she used were warm her heart in these cold times. Not my language, of course, but I was told to pass that message on pain of death.
Fair enough. Perhaps we'll have a performance for our next victory.
Indeed. I believe she's also going to your, what do you guys call it? A ball on Friday?
Oh.
So expect her
yes.
as well.
He knew that. I finally forgot. He knew that.
All right, excellent. I'm
yes.
trying to prevent Kayao from going, but we'll see.
He's just like one of those nervous, like, yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
ooh.
I'm sure a heartless member of some...
I don't think babysitting does that justice.
Yeah, you don't know the half. Anyway, I hope you found this fruitful, and I wish you luck.
Thank you. Maybe I can bring some honor to this.
Indeed. And he's going to kind of grab some of the residual blood around and begin to kind of spin it into a circle, and kind of poke a hole in the film in the middle and open it up, and you see your friends at the Gelatini Manor for a second, and then a ward shows up and shunts you out. And
front door. Sorry.
Yeah, just again. Again, same thing, kind of spins it out, and
he's now seeing... He's not trying to like overly show it, but he's gonna find like a little bit of like solace in the fact that even the Nexals can be stopped by like normal means per se.
Well, don't die.
Till we meet again.
Indeed. Slay well. And kind of ushers you through the portal. Upon your re-entrance into reality, I need you to roll me a 1d2.
You need me to flip a coin?
Yep.
In reality?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this where I change?
Everything has its cost, my man.
That's a very small table.
Your constitution permanently goes down by 2 due to the 1 death save that you had.
Oh, shit.
And can never rise above that number unless like a wish or a god gets involved.
Oh, shit.
And to everyone else, you look like a little bit more skinny, like very slight signs of like you not being as healthy. But yeah. But you return back to the Gelatini Manor to very confused guards, by the way, who saw you run out, disappear, and literally a fraction of a second later come back.
He's made sure to church up to prestidigitation and blood off. Like Hemodome's very secure. The sword's in the pocket or the bag of holding.
Okay. Um, are you Elsa? Did you?
Oh yes, I just needed. Everything's fine.
Oh, okay. I believe your companions are in the
Oh yeah,
estate
I need
proper.
to. All right. He's like jogging in place for a second. He's like, all right, I got this, and he's gonna start running back
And we'll end it here with you running back into the Gelatini estate.
Oh shit.
Your magic repertoire significantly expanded. Your hit points go
Yeah,
down by a little.
fucking
But
fucking analysis paralysis is definitely not gonna be an issue.
oh yeah, no way. Don't forget. I hate to say this, but since it did go down by 2, that's a full point down. So
Yep.
I don't. If you have any Constitution hit points, that goes down by whatever your level is.
What do you mean?
So like, let's say you
Oh, for
had
like.
yeah. So it's like minus 16 or 17 hit points because every level you get a bonus because of your Constitution. That's gone.
Oh, that. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. HP down by 17 exactly.
Oh shit. I didn't realize that layered that way. So it's
You only had
Alright.
one. You made so many deaths. I was so happy for you, but at the same time, I was like, oh man, he could come out of here with 4 down. Yeah.
Whew.
You roll like a fucking baller, dude. I am so proud of you. Because we were in this and I was like, oh no.
That's why it
oh,
was
no.
stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
So stressful.
You know, it's like 13s all day. Good shit.
Boop.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here to the potential
Thank
death
you.
of Rolim.
Yeah. Totally not terrifying. Everything's great.
Yeah, I'm sorry I biffed it at the end, but I can't roll my way out of a paper bag. But
Oh, we're gonna raid.
yeah, we're gonna raid. Okay. Wait, who's control? Are you?
Can you do that while I'm hosting? I don't know if you can do that while I'm hosting.
That's
but
what I was
sure
asking.
You can because this is your channel. I don't see why it wouldn't work. I'm going to. Okay, cool. That she did that. I'm gonna stop the recording. Good night. We love you guys. Bye.
Good night.